Hello, everybody. We are live again on a Wednesday night. Curse of Starhd. Hope everyone is doing well. Players, hope you're all well. We had a good week. I know we had some interesting sessions in our other D&D campaigns on Friday and Sunday, so let's hope this one should be relatively interesting also, considering where we left off last week, of course. It was an interesting place to leave the players at, so hopefully we're all good with there. Don't really have any announcements apart from Friday, this coming Friday, obviously, in 2 nights' time. Make sure you're back over on Yanti's channel to see the continuation of the Ice by Peak campaign, and then again on Sunday for the continuation of the Sanctum campaign, which is going very, very well. And then back here for more D&D next Wednesday. So without any further ado, we should recap last week's episode. So, last we left off, you had decided to spend the night in the... No, that is the wrong recap. I chose the wrong file. My bad. I got double up for my files. Chose the wrong one. So, last we left off, you had arrived at the Wizards of Wine winery, where you had met an elderly man by the name of Divine Martikov and his family, a couple of sons, a daughter, and her wife. Along with Adrian, his son, you approached the winery using a little bit of extra stealthiness to make entry through the loading dock. You decided to head to the upper floor to search the upper levels first. As you reach the upper loading bay, however, you find yourselves face to face with a strange, disheveled man perched atop the loading crane. He utters some crazy words that some of you or most of you don't understand, and the words in Druidic: "Nature bows to my every whim, I have the vampire's staff," which Emily clearly understood. He muttered these words in crazed and erratic voice before dropping through the loading bay door and onto the cart below. After a short time, however, you did notice the sound of rustling leaves and the cracking of twigs. Couldn't really see where it was coming from. Paying it not too much attention, after a short time you proceeded to continue your search. This led you into the vat room, where another of these hooded figures was seen scuttling out of view under the catwalk above you. A bunch of ravens sitting in the rafters. Zadriel attempted to communicate, which didn't really help, as they didn't communicate back. However, one of them did fly down and peck at the top of one of the vats, giving you an indication that all things may not be as they seemed. Skathis, moving forward to investigate, peers into the top of this wine vat, and what he sees there was a little bit of a surprise. A series of eyes looking back up at him, and with that, a wave of humanoid twig-like creatures spew forth from the vat, bubbling outwards almost like a geyser, swarming over Skathis and out across the catwalk. They attack, the battle ensues. Most of these creatures, they seem easily enough to kill, but there are many, many of them. During the fray, another robed human ascends the catwalk and joins in. Zadriel ends his life swiftly with a cracking blow to the head with her warhammer. She retrieves the staff that he was carrying. It seemed cracked, but interesting nonetheless. The creature seemed to not attack her once she had the staff in hand. The rest of you deal with the remaining twig creatures in the upper landing with another druid down below as Karnos drops through the loading bay to face him. Fibble, however, dealt the final blow with a reporting shot from Charlotte the rifle. With that, you clean up the final few of these creatures and search these men. You discover on one of them a large seed-like crystal, large red seed-like crystal, about the size of a pine cone, but the inside glowing with a green pulsating energy. You can only assume this is the gem that was spoken of when you spoke to the Mardikovs. You also find a few other bits and pieces, nothing too major. Discussing what to do with the staves, however, one is passed to Emilia, who immediately gets a sense of dread and a overwhelming urge to snap the staff. She raises it above her head once, twice, then destroying the staff. As it cracks and breaks over her knee, you'd all notice a wave of these twig-like creatures ascending on the winery. Too many to count, but as the staff was broken, the creatures, one by one, disintegrated into a fine mist-like ash that settled and eventually dissipated and drifted away with the slight breeze that was present this Barovian afternoon. More discussion over what to do with the second stave, however. Emilia still wants to snap it, but Zadriel convinces the group to maybe hold off a while. This staff may come in handy. You then proceed back upstairs to continue your search. You return to the upper floor and find a bedroom, which possibly belongs to Divine, maybe. There's a crib in there, however, a desk, a couple of wardrobes, a small chest. After searching the room, Zadriel discovers a ledger of sorts with a bunch of letters which denote deliveries. BV, which you can assume is the... I can't remember what we said it was, but BV, BW, K, the word Vistani was also written, and the letter S. I think we said the Blue Water Inn was the BW, K was potentially Kresk, looking at your map. Vistani, and S was potentially Starhd. And BV was the Blood on Vine in Barovia. You also discover a secret compartment in the bedpost. Well, Fibblestib did, however, and eventually breaking into the small chest, looting all within. You find yourselves a number of gems, a painting that looks relatively aged, and a few other bits and pieces. While this was happening, Karnos proceeds to make the room look like it was involved in a scuffle. Zadriel smashes the desk, Karnos ruffles up the mat and the bedpost, and at this point Emilia pipes up that she will have no party in stealing from the innocent and leaves the room. Zadriel, hearing this and somewhat agreeing, then puts it to the party. Should we really be stealing from people we're trying to help? And this is where we rejoin our heroes now, as you are still in this bedroom in the Wizards of Wine winery. Zadriel has just asked a question, and I'll now turn it over to the players.
I mean, after all, they are paying us to do this quest, so it would be kind of bad to be taking from them.
I don't know if they knew about the stuff hidden in the bed. We might have to ask them, because it seems to be clues to something else, doesn't it, Mr. Stib?
Yes. There was a note in it, if I remember right.
In the picture?
But we don't have to take the money. The money can stay. That must belong to them. That wasn't hidden away in the bed, was it?
No. No. The gems were. I think.
DM, how much money was it again? I forget. It's a couple of hundred gold.
It was 590 total. And 100 silver.
Yep. So we can leave the gold behind and the silver, because that clearly belongs to them, but Maybe we can ask them if we can take these clues or make a copy or something. See if they know about it.
Yeah.
I do believe that one of you has just smashed the bedpost, so the room was damaged when we found these things. So
That I did, so it made it seem a little like, we weren't just searching a room for no reason.
so we could tell them we found them and ask them about the picture and the things.
Correct. That's a good idea.
Right, we moving on then to more stuff.
Should we keep this manifest to take back or no? Of the names.
Why do we need the manifest?
I don't know. I figure we.
I don't think we need the manifest.
We could ask them if our guesses on those names are right. Yeah, what they stand for, and if they're delivering to Starhd, we might be able to deliver something nasty to Starhd. Adol, can you make a bow?
Oh.
Can I make a bow? Of course I can make a bow.
Not a bow, a bomb, a big boom, a kaboom.
Oh, a bomb. Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
that. It's not too hard.
Between you and Mr. Stubb, you could make a couple of really big explosive ones. We could send a crate that says it's from the winery to the tower, to his, Strahd's castle, and wabam!
I mean, I do
Mind
like
you-
me a bit of explosion, so
Yeah, I mean, if it goes anything like the windmill, it won't make a difference. But hey,
Wow, bam. Really? Oh, bam.
I haven't heard too many gigantic explosions. I just assume there's like a whoa, and then a bam.
Yes. Wow. Or we could put something in the wine to, I don't know, kill him. Just saying. Although,
Exploding wine bottles, Mr. Stubb, you are a genius.
okay.
Oh, who are we bombing with wine?
We're bumming Strahd's wine.
Strahd doesn't drink wine, you genius. He drinks blood.
yeah, but he's got a castle, so if we just send a bomb to the castle and not a present neatly wrapped bow, make it look interesting, we could maybe potentially say that Emily is inside there or something, and then he goes to open it and kaboom, he's dead. Done deal.
Car boom. That even sounds more dangerous than wah boom.
Or servants open it and we kill innocent people.
But either way, we're not going to be there when it goes off. So if innocent people do die, we don't know about it. So therefore, it's fine. Clear conscience.
And if they're working for Strahd, are they really innocent?
I mean, I have to say, I think Zadriel might be right there. I didn't think about the innocent people.
I am gonna go to the
Look.
next room.
No one in Barovia is innocent, all right? Everyone's out for it for themselves. So it's
That
fine.
include you, Adok.
I mean, yeah, I'm on your back.
Carlos makes sure he puts any money he got back.
Okay. Make sure you mark that off. It was 100 silver, 500 gold from this room. The 90 was from the druids.
Yeah, I didn't take all the gold. I'm not sure who took the rest of it.
I took the gold from the druids and I'm not giving that back.
No, that's fine. It's the 500 from the room and the 100 silver. So, where do you wish to proceed?
Did we check next door, the room next to this room?
You came through that room, which is a kitchen, but there was another door that you had not gone through yet, off the kitchen.
Do that one.
So,
Alright, I've put all that gold back.
so you move back through the kitchen, and oh crap! If I can do that. Seen the kitchen already anyway. reference. So you move back through the kitchen into the first of 2 bedrooms. Not much in these rooms. It's literally a couple of small rooms, sleeping quarters. It seems 2 beds of bunk beds occupy both of these rooms as you search them sort of individually. So a few lockers. It looks very similar to a worker style quarters, but not much else. Is a very functional room, but lockers are there if you wish to search for the lockers as well.
Emily remains in the hallway.
Just looking around the room, however, you do notice there are, in this first room specifically, there's a few children's toys, which you can assume is probably the younger son and young children's toys. One of them looks like it's a child's wooden horse, except the horse is black and it has very sort of reddish, wild-looking eyes. And it has painted flames where its mane and tail and hooves would be.
Jadriel, would you mind if you went and picked up that horse? Just want to have a bit of a look at it.
I go pick up the horse and lift it to Adok.
And you have a look at it, Adok. You sort of look at it over and under, and underneath it, under the belly, is carved Busphallus. And in small lettering just under that is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Careful, Zadriel. Last time you had a horse above you, it landed on you.
Yes, and now I have a monkey on my back.
Well, and Karnas
he's a
pulls his axe,
goblin.
looks around. Oh, that's right, I forgot.
I don't know what it is, but something about this horse seems a little bit off. I'm gonna keep it. It looks like Blinsky, you know, that weird toy maker that gave me the bear. May you rest in peace.
He's not dead.
Oh,
the
He is
bear.
dead. He's definitely dead. He
I thought
blew
you
up.
meant the toy maker. We will get you another Mr. Stick.
This is all that's left. Look at it. I pull up the necklace with the foot dangling.
You know what? If I can resurrect him, if you give me the foot.
You can do that.
Mhm.
All right, if you promise.
Yeah.
I'll give it over gently.
And I put it in my pack because I'm gonna rush to the toy shop when we're done with all this.
Crack up.
So how long does it take? Will you resurrect it in your pocket?
It's a couple of days. I've got to do a ritual. You know, it does take a while, and I don't want to make this crazy demon bear. I've got to make sure it's right. So we'll do it later.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Well, hurry up. Thank you.
So checking, are all the chests locked or are they unlocked?
They're all unlocked. It's just like I said, it's a basic set of lockers. Not much else.
Okay, so just basically clothes and stuff like that. Okay.
Yep. Not much in there at all.
So nothing strange in this room? Should we go
Nope.
downstairs?
There is another room further down the hallway. Next to these 2 rooms. Again, its door is closed as you continue down the hall.
I point to it and say, do you want to check this one too? Anybody?
I'll go and check.
So you open the door. As you open the door, you see a printing room of sorts. In the back of this room is a large printing press. There is a desk. There is like a small wardrobe. You can only assume that the press is used to make labels for the bottles or flyers or something like that. It looks like that type of setup. Make a quick perception roll for me, Skatus.
Look, printing press.
What'd you get, dude?
11.
Yeah, it's a printing press, but you do notice behind the printing press there's a little bit of movement there that's not natural. Like, it doesn't seem that it stands out because it doesn't seem like it fits in this room. Something you sort of see moves and ducks behind the press as if trying not to be seen or found.
Come out. I know you're there.
You don't hear anything initially, and then you hear that familiar sound of rustling leaves and twigs. Here. As a couple of these tree creatures rush out from behind the press and rush at you. What do you do, Trash? Or Skaters?
Okay, is there anyone near me apart from them?
Depends on who else was
would've been
walking
right
into the
behind
room with you.
Oh, that's going to be bad then.
So Skaters, you probably, how far would you think you would have gone into the room? Just peeked in the door or just walked in to have a quick look around? Roughly how far?
Probably 10 foot into the room.
5-10 feet? Okay, so that puts you roughly in the centre of the room. So there would be enough room for a couple of you to walk in behind.
Yeah, I'd be just to the right side of the doorway.
Well,
Okay.
I can't go doing that then. That'll hurt.
Do what you do, man. Just do it.
Just do whatever you think you would do instinctively, because these things are rushing at you, and they are quick.
Okay, I cast Thunderwave.
Roll your thunder wave, sir.
Oh, Thunderwave goes in front of you anyway.
Does it's directly in front.
Thunderwave is tremendous force sweeping out from you, each creature within a 15-foot cube.
Yeah, it's cube from directly in front. So, what do they need to do?
Okay. Con save 11.
Con save of 11. Okie dokie. That'll be a 10.
That's a fail. 13 damage.
They are both obliterated as the thunder wave stretches out and hits them from behind the printing press. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Nothing else has really happened. They can't go prone, or they can't be pushed away because they're dead.
I'm just giving you extra information. In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area.
Yes,
of
I do know.
effect.
I know.
Okay,
I know. Just hang on. Give me a second. The printing press is heavy, so the printing press doesn't move. But the chair that's by the desk is thrown against the printing press and smashes into a dozen pieces. Bits of paper and ink and all sorts of stuff are just thrown against the back wall. And you hear a very familiar sound coming from behind the press, that erratic, crazy burbling, again, not in a language you understand, which you would recognize as being potentially another druid. As he sort of staggers out, not being affected by this, as he was hiding behind the press, and points his staff at you, Skathis, and he will return attack, and also cast Thunderwave.
Oh, awesome.
So whoever is in the room, which will be Skathis and Karnos, I would imagine,
Yep.
and whoever is standing in the doorway. There was anyone behind Karnos in the actual doorway? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Emily wouldn't even try to go into the room.
No,
I would have looked in the room and then just gone, nah.
Zadriel, do you think you would be standing in the doorway?
Well,
Potentially-
Zadriel just pointed at it and said, "Do we want to
Okay,
look there?"
So
I
just
don't know.
Skathis and Karnos then. You'll both need to make a con save.
15.
15. What the LDC is? Carnos.
I also got 15.
So you both save. So I believe
Should be half damage.
half damage, and you
will.
will not be pushed away. So you will take 2d8 halved. So that will be 5 points of damage. As the thunderous boom for the second time rings out through the building, shaking the very foundations of the winery. Dust and stuff falls from the ceiling. The crows would have scattered the moment the first one was fired. So with that, we will roll initiative.
15.
We have a status
Yes.
at a 15.
Nat 20 for a 24.
24.
Nice.
Oh, Carlos. Shit. Adok.
Got a 12.
12. Zadriel.
9.
9. Bibblestib.
Nat 20 for 23.
Oh, nice rolls.
Oh, yes.
Emilia.
7.
Shivan. So, with that, Carnos, you get the upper hand here.
Sweet. So I was.
Actually,
about
how much
10 foot-
damage did you do on those blights? Scathus, just out of curiosity? Because they are not dead.
13 damage max.
They're both reforming as you look on and have received this second Thunderwave back. You see the bits of bark and twig on the printing press and on the back wall. They start to come back together and start reforming themselves and start climbing back over towards you guys. Carnos, you also see this.
Carnos was about, I think we said 10 foot behind.
Yep. I'll just give you a quick reference here so you can sort of see roughly where you're at. So the druid is about here at the back of the room, and the two tree figures are on the press at the back there. So Scathus, you're center of the room. Carnos, you're at the door.
And is Scathus in melee range of the druid?
No, he is not. He's about
Yeah.
5 feet. He's about 5 feet between him and the druid before he could get into melee range.
Alright. I am
He'd
going
have to step forward first.
Yeah. I'm going to step so I'm within 5 feet of Scathus, like behind him.
Yep.
Because he'd be blocking my reach to the druid, I imagine, looking at that picture.
Yeah, pretty much. You would have.
And
I
I'm
mean,
going
you'd be able to
to-
move around him, but it would be a bit of a sort of a sideways step. It's a pretty small room.
Alright, so I can move. I
You can
move
get around him. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I've got a new ability I'm going to use, which means I do not have my shield out.
Okay.
So I'll just adjust that. And it is called Quick Toss. I love the sound of that.
Carnos is going to have a quick toss.
So as a bonus action, I can throw a weapon as I move into melee combat.
Okie dokie.
So I'm going to throw one of my axes.
Throw away, sir.
So I'm going to throw across the top of that. Oh, 9. Not so good with the throwing.
A 9, that will miss.
9 to hit. And then I'm going to move into melee combat two-handed with my large battle axe. And I'm going to swing for the druid. And I'm swinging for his shoulder.
Roger
Right
that.
shoulder. That's a little better. 26 to
I'm
hit.
pretty sure that hits. He does bring his staff up in an attempt to parry the blow, but it doesn't get up there quick enough. Roll your
And I get
damage.
13 damage on that strike.
13 damage, and he's only wearing robes, so he take this damage. You strike him in the upper shoulder, and it almost severs his arm. It's pretty deep.
And the second is a
Holy
natural
shit.
20 for a 28 to hit.
So double max weapon damage plus your dice and modifier.
Okay, so that's 20 plus.
Holy shit. Safe to say,
So 36 damage.
he is dead. Where was this strike? This strike
same
aiming
place.
for?
I
Same
was
place.
looking for that same shoulder. Yeah.
You not only cleave through his shoulder and severing his arm, the blow is hit with such force that you hear the cracking of ribs and that gurgling, bubbling sound of an open lung wound as you hack into his chest, almost hitting his spine. It's going to take you a bit to get this axe out of there. Like it's buried in this guy's body. So I would say if you had a bonus action, you're going to need it to remove the axe. Well, if you're going to, it's going to take a bit to get it out. So that's pretty much you.
Thank you.
He is well dead.
And I scream out, "Oh, it's on! Come to Papa!"
And with that, Fibblestib, you are next. Skathis, you're on board after that. So from outside of the room, Fibble, you just hear Karnos yell, and you probably hear the sickening sound of someone with a sucking chest wound as he dies horribly.
So all what's left is the little stick people?
You got a couple of stick people up on the printing press, so if you move into the doorway, you will definitely see them. And you would probably get a clean shot over top of Karnos and Skathis, as the press is quite tall.
Okay, I'll do a shot with the musket.
Far away.
18 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
With 8 points of damage piercing.
8 points of piercing damage. These creatures seem to be a little more hearty than the ones you have previously faced. You fire it, it takes off a whole bunch of sticks and leaves and stuff, but it's still standing. Is that your turn, Fibble?
Yep, that is my turn.
Skathis, you're up.
Hang on, I forgot to do that. Oops. Okay. No more key points. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going up and hitting one of them.
You walk forward. Your first attack. What's your reach? Only 5 feet?
5 foot reach.
They're on top of the press. I'd say first your attack's going to be at disadvantage because they're probably just out of your reach, but I'll still allow you to attack.
So disadvantage?
Disadvantage on the attack, please. Still hits. Still hits. You manage to sort of almost jump and attack as you reach out to and grab it. 5 points of damage. And this one still also standing. They're not looking too healthy though, but they're still there.
9 to hit.
That one will miss as
That's it for me.
scuttles across out of your reach. This is now their turn. These creatures both jump down from the press on top of you, Skathis, as you are the closest thing to them, and they will both make their attacks. So we got here. I think they only get one. This first one's going to get an attack, which is a 13 to hit. I believe that will miss.
No, that's a hit.
Oh, that's a hit. Okay, so you will take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, they are tough, aren't they? Not 98, 9.
9. The second one, however, does not reach out to try and attack you. Instead, I need you to make a strength save for me as it reaches out its arms and they start to elongate and vines start to grow from its body, reaching out towards you.
12.
That will be a failure.
I'm going to use my reaction, Flash of Genius, and give him a +5 to that.
How does that work? Do you have to be close to you?
No, he just has to be within 30 feet of me.
Okay, so he's within range. So he gets +5 on top of that save?
Yep.
So that would be a success.
Yay!
That's a cool feature that I like that. So with that, as you feel yourself start to be bound by the vines, you get a sudden burst of strength and you're able to break free. So you are not grappled. So that'll be their turn. So next up, Adok. From outside the room, depending on where Zadriel is, you possibly may not see anything unless you've moved into the doorway, Zadriel.
I think I would have if I'd heard thunder waves. So that's up to
you would have heard a
but I
double
wasn't in
You
the
would have
doorway.
heard double
Yeah.
thunder waves, one going one way, one going the other. So the whole place would have shook. So I'm assuming that you would have stepped forward to see what was going on.
Yeah.
So you would see this
Yeah.
exchange happening within the room. So you do have line of sight, Haddock.
So,
Great. Yeah, I'd probably just load my blowgun and blow, and hope to God it hits. So, yeah. So.
Roll to hit.
17.
That'll hit.
4 damage.
Still not enough to kill it,
Yeah.
but close. It's looking pretty. One of them's looking pretty bad. It's limping heavily, and it looks like it's really struggling to hold itself together. Is that your turn, Haddock?
That is pretty much it. Yeah.
Next up would have been the druid, but he is dead. So Zadriel, it is your turn.
all right. I'm going to say, Adok, pass me my javelin, and I'm going to scooch up inside the doorway. I don't think I can reach the melee, so I'm
No,
going
it'd
to
be a bit of a squeeze to get through.
yeah,
So.
throw the javelin. Watch out, Cardos.
Not Karnos, it'll be Skathis, because these creatures are on Skathis right now.
25 to hit.
That will hit.
12 damage.
12 damage. You do manage to dispatch one of them as you strike it with it. Pretty good hit. You manage to not hit Skathis as the javelin just collects this creature in its upper torso neck area and pins it to the wall behind Skathis. And then it slowly just disintegrates into twigs and leaves.
I have a second attack. Was that count for range too, or is that just melee?
If you have
Counts
two
for
attacks,
range.
if you have two attacks in the attack
attacks
action,
per action.
then yeah, it counts for range as well.
I'll try again with the other one.
You have multiple
11.
javelins.
Yeah. I have-
Cool.
But that's an 11, so I don't think
That will miss, however.
And so that's it for me.
That's it for you. And lastly, Emilia. What are you doing?
Emily is going to hear all of this and think, well, they must have found something valuable, because last time they found something valuable, they trashed that room. So she's going to sit down on the floor and do nothing.
Very cool. If you think that's what she would do, then that's what she does.
Yup.
Back to the top of the order with Karnos. You have one left alive, which is on Skathis. And it's not looking pretty. It's not looking very healthy.
It's on Skathis,
It is
eh?
on Skathis.
Is it enjoying itself?
It is attempting to pierce his jugular region.
All right, I'm going to try and first thing, I'm going to pick up my. Assuming the axe I threw is somewhere nearby.
That'd be roll investigation, because there's a bit of debris in the room. So if you wanted to find it, it would probably cost you your action.
Oh, I'm not going to go looking for it. If I glance and don't see it, I'm just going to
Yeah,
because I've got to pull my axe out of his
yeah.
body too.
Yeah. So I would say you could use half your movement to retrieve your axe.
Yep, I'll use half my movement to retrieve my axe. And how far am I from?
Oh, you're literally
Skathis?
a step or
I
two
can just
away,
swing.
so you could walk over there and
Yeah,
swing
man.
away.
I'm stepping in. I'm just doing like an uppercut swing. Like that thing's
Yep.
on Skathis. I want
Yep.
to just take its little tree head off. Uppercut swing.
no
Whoosh.
worries. All you got to do is hit. It is literally virtually no hit points left.
14.
So that'll hit, and with your base weapon damage alone,
Yeah.
it'll do it. It only had one hit point left, so
So yeah.
you are very, very easily able to dispatch this creature, thus ending the initiative order.
Mint. Carlos is just sort of flexing his neck muscles. Oh, that felt good. Bring us some more, will you? Skathis, are you all right?
Well, there's meant to be 5 of these guys, so there's still 2 more. I'm going to investigate this one to see what weird item he has.
You don't no need to investigate too much. He does have a staff on him that is much the same as the others. But if you wish to investigate his body, you can do so.
10.
With a 10, not much on the creature itself. Empty pockets. Looks like he's got a couple of rations, but that's about it.
I throw the rations up at ad hoc and go, there you go, and that's it. Because we've got a gem and a flask.
Around his neck is a key, however.
Ooh, I'll take the key and put it around my neck. Because that seems like a good place to put a key.
And it starts choking you. No? Okay.
roll a wisdom save. No, I'm kidding.
You said magic.
Well, you'll find out. But no, he doesn't have a whole lot on him at all. Like I said, just another one of these staves, these dark wooden branch-like staves that you've found on the other two previously.
Now the condition of these staves.
We're gonna break this one. Did we? We broke one.
You've broken one. Zadriel has the other.
We got the other one. Do we want to break this one as well? Because we don't. Why were we keeping it for again? I can't remember.
Because that drill thinks it may come in handy.
Do we need to keep more than one?
I don't know. It stopped attacking when I was holding it, so. You know?
Right, I think we should break this one. I'm going to give it to Karnos and say, you're good with an axe. Axe away. But I think Karnos is actually...
Karnos is trying to get his axe out of the druid still.
Yes, he has. He will return. Yeah, he's retrieving his axe and stuff, but he's good.
I take the staff and go and try and smash it down.
Yeah, break it. You can do it, Skathis. I have complete and utter faith in you.
Alright, so I have it up over my head and I go down. This is going to hurt me. But anyway.
Drink check, please, to see if you can break this one.
Yeah, that's going to work well. 17.
This one seems to be a little bit easier to break than the last one you tried. But being a little smarter, I would imagine you wouldn't just try and smash it on the ground. You'd look at the printing press and you find a spot there, you get a bit of leverage on it and you stick it in there and you just pull back on it, and eventually it gives way with a loud cracking sound as the staff gives way and breaks, and that same sensation that you had earlier with the breakage of the first one catches you in the back of your throat, all of you that are in the room, and just you can see that dark energy dissipate into the atmosphere. And it's a almost instant nausea kind of feeling, and that catches you in the back of your throat, and then it dissipates very, very quickly. But it's a horrible feeling.
All right. Do we want to search this room or not worry about it?
There are a lot of papers. Maybe we can find something on the papers? Although they're all over the place now.
Sorry about that. It was a reaction.
Yeah, this whole room is just pretty badly damaged. The desk is almost recognizable as a desk. The chair is destroyed. The wardrobe in the corner, its doors are hanging off, and what was in it is just strewn all over the place with a double thunderwave back and forth. There's just paper from one side of the room to the other.
I'll investigate.
Make an investigation roll, please.
5.
I was going to say assist, but anyway.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really find much in this room at all. Unfortunately, with the way the room has been torn apart by these two thunder waves, you look through a few papers and it's just a lot of blank papers. There are some printed. Some of them do look like wine bottle labels. Others look like leaflets to advertise the wine, but nothing really stands out.
All right, shall we carry on to the next area?
Yes.
So, as you enter back into the hallway, Emily is sitting in the hallway as you guys return from this little incursion. You are now faced with a 20-foot hallway, not dissimilar to the one on the opposite side where you first came up the stairwell, leading to a spiral stairwell which goes down.
Hey, Emily, are you all right there, mate?
You finished your looting? Can we continue?
We're not looting. We did not take any monies from the other room. We decided against it, and we just fought a druid and some trees in the other room. We're only finding things that would help us find our enemies. I believe that's what we're looking for.
Okay, sweet as.
Are you troubled, Emily?
When you say that you left the money, she sort of smiles. So.
Oh, we are heroes here. Sometimes it might be questionable the things we do to get along, but I have more than enough money to cover all of us. I do not need to take money for. And he looks around at everyone. Is that not right, everyone? We're not here to steal from anyone.
We only take from the dead. Well, is that stealing from the dead?
Well, not if it's our enemy.
We only take from bad people.
It did look that way, Emily, and I guess I apologise if it looked bad. We were contemplating bits and pieces, but we don't believe what was hidden in the bedpost is known about. We're going to ask the winery people about that.
Okay. Sweet.
Come along. Cheer up. Come along. Here, do you want to... I think I've got a little bit of wine left in one of these. And I pull my 2 canisters and hand her 2 canisters, hip flasks, and hand both hip flasks to her and go, take a sip from each one. It'll do you good.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Oh, well, I know I'm on the job, but a little sip, right? And I flip the tops and and put them back, just a little sip from each.
Right. So, do you proceed? Are you going to follow the pretty much the only way you can go is forward and down.
Okay, forward and down then.
You believe
Forward
that
downward.
you believe you have
Forward downward.
searched the upper floor quite thoroughly. You now move down the spiral staircase, leading you down one flight of stairs, which has you now in a small area, 5 by 5, very cramped room, but there's a door at the end which is slightly ajar. As you enter into this room, you now find yourself in the bottom or the first floor of the winery, back in the vat room, as it seems. Lining this room is, and let me get my description. So the
Escape
rich.
with you first.
Yeah, can we get a quick marching order just as you descend the stairwell into the vat room, please?
I'll go in front.
I'd like to be second if that's all right with everyone else.
Third. Without a
Fourth.
fourth.
Well, fifth, then, and then Emily are taking up the rear.
So, pretty much you're entering from this small doorway here at the bottom left. So you are now seeing the lower level of the vat, the fermentation room. So the rich smell of fermenting wine fills this large 2-story chamber, which is dominated by 4 enormous wooden caskets, or casks. Each are about 8 feet wide, 12 feet tall. A wooden staircase in the centre climbs to a 10-foot wooden balcony, clings to the south wall, and which has... You were up there before, you got the 4 windows sitting above. There are a whole bunch of empty barrels lining the south wall, and they're all stamped with the Wizards of Wine. This is where Fibblesib, you first saw the second druid that you guys had encountered down on this level before we climbed up to join you in the battle above. Towards the north, you've got a set of double sliding doors which lead out, you assume lead out onto the veranda where you saw the stomping barrels where they would stomp the grapes and juice them for the wine. To the rear is a small single door, and there are doors on the opposite end which you know, as you kind of investigated those, lead out to the loading bay and to the stairwell which you ascended previously. Which way are you going?
I'm sorry, FYI, DM, I had to shoot out to check on the Kudzu for a bit. I would have looked. I would have looked for my throwing axe.
Yes, you would have found it. It wouldn't have been hard to find.
No worries, just making sure. I can't be uneven.
And I'm assuming Zadra would have retrieved her javelins, even though she did not say. I'm not that harsh.
Check out the vats, the giant vats, and look all the way around them.
So as you move in, I mean, no need for investigation. You do know that the one that you had previously investigated, Skaters, had a massive crack down one side, so it was empty. Doesn't look like any sign of wine on the floor, so it may have been broken before it was filled. But as you walk around the other three large casks, tapping on them, they definitely have wine in them, and this wine is fermenting, ready for bottling.
Go ahead, Baz.
Sorry, I was just going to say, did they say they were going to pay us some wine? Is it all right if I top up my flasks here, maybe?
Roll an intelligence check, Karnos, to see if you would understand the fermenting process of wine and whether this wine would even be ready for drinking.
I rolled already, but I was about to say I am a brewer as well. I have
With advantage.
perception in brewery, so that's good because I rolled a fucking natural one.
With advantage, and add your proficiency modifier if you are proficient.
I've actually... Yep. Where the fuck is it? Intelligence, you said, eh?
Yep.
Oh, I still rolled pretty low, but that is 5 of 7 if we're adding proficiency.
7. Yeah, I mean you've got you're a brewer, but I don't know if Karnos brews
so good.
wine per se. Maybe
No,
ale or mead.
You're spot on. He brews mead.
Yeah, so you have an understanding of the fermentation of yeast and honey and things like that, but wine, a whole different ballgame. And smelling it has a real vinegary smell in this room. Like, it's definitely red wine. And it probably doesn't really smell like it'll be good enough to drink.
I sort of crack open one of the little taps, and I'm like, oh, and I crack it back. I'm like, never mind. Oh, I don't think I'll take anything from you.
Do you have a taste? Of
No,
what dripped out?
You were saying it smelled.
It does
so
smell.
if
It does smell
smells
strong.
vinegary,
Yeah.
If it smells vinegary, he wouldn't touch it. Not at this point. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, young Emilia, over the course of the last 3 days, have you eaten or drunk anything?
I only have the flask of wine that was not wine, the flask of liquid that I got from Starhd.
So that's all you have left? Got no water, no food?
I've got water. I haven't had food.
Okay, so have you been drinking water in the last 3 days?
Oh, naturally I would have been.
Can I get you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
8.
You're not feeling very well. And the last time you took a drink, it did not sit well in your stomach. What you do with that information is up to you. Whether you outwardly show that to your friends at this stage, again, is up to you. But you are not feeling well at all.
Sweet.
So, with that, the room seems clear. It's just the wine and you guys in the barrels. And what is your plan of action?
I would like to walk over to the closest door we have not gone in.
So that would be the door in the southern wall of this room. Small single door.
Okay. Yeah.
So you head through that door and you find yourselves in this area here. This looks very much like there's bottles on the wall behind. As you look in, there's what looks like might even like be type of a forge. A dirty window on the south wall allows a dim light into this room. Wine bottles are manufactured here by the looks, as evident by the tools lying about. Wooden rack full of freshly blown glass bottles along the south wall. A hearth built into the southwest corner, and a barrel of sand standing next to it. Staircase descends underground, and between it a rack of bottles stands a barred door.
The barred door that's on the inside, yeah.
The barred door is locked from the inside, yes. It looks like it possibly could be an exterior door.
I vote we go downstairs, people. Unless we want to have a look around here, of course.
Oh, we've pretty much examined all of the stuff upstairs, haven't we?
Pretty much.
Do you think they would mind if I took a bottle? Just an empty bottle or two? Maybe I tell them after I take it.
Tell them they could offer it as payment.
And take 2 bottles.
Okay.
I don't think it's a major issue. There'd be plenty of bottles around, but I guess it can't hurt to ask them on the way out. Just say, hey, I grabbed a bottle or 2.
So make a note. You have 2 glass wine bottles. How you put them into your pack with Addoc is up to you.
Here, Doc, stuff these back in there, would you?
And yeah, so be aware that you have a fragile pack with 2 glass wine bottles inside.
Right, my head upstate.
So, what is the next plan of action, ladies and Germanys?
Downstairs, I guess. Unless we're going to search the area. What was that?
Nothing. Just talking to myself.
All right, well, we can go downstairs, I guess.
So you head down the stairs, which is quite dark. I mean, there's no torches or lights heading down here, so it starts to get darker as you descend. Anyone have a light source?
I put the light on my shield with the cantrip.
Okay. So with that, the very dimly lit stairwell lights up with a brilliant, radiant light. You descend the staircase. At the bottom of the staircase, you find a single wooden door, which is closed.
Emilia will not follow them down the stairs.
You're going to remain at the top of the stairs?
Remain in the room with the bottles on the wall.
Okay.
Your quick choice of whether you roll to see if you notice.
Passives at this stage, probably not. So we'll leave it at this point and see. We'll make some perception rolls very shortly. If anyone notices.
I'll go up, check the door.
So you check the door and it is locked.
Notably, if there's minimal light, Carnos would drop behind the light user, so I'd be behind Zedriel at this
No
point.
problem.
Fibble, Haddock, anybody?
Hey, I have a key. I want to
Try
see
it.
if the key works.
Try it.
You're going to try your key. You try your key in the lock and it does not fit.
Ow, what's the fucking point of a key if it doesn't work? Okay.
Did you turn the knob?
Oh, I never thought to turn the knob.
You are the genius.
Mm-hmm. Sleight of hand. Try to pick the lock instead.
Sleight of hand. Attempt to pick as I lock.
15.
15. And with a 15, Bibblestib would probably need the aid of Skatus to reach the lock, but by now you guys are aware of your shorter companions' handicaps, so generally more than willing to give aid, I would assume. And with a few seconds and a very skilled lock picking, Bibblestib, you unlock this door.
See, key worked. Okay, let's go through.
So who is going into this room first?
I will.
Skathis pushes forward. Who is second, third, and fourth?
Carnos will be behind the lights also.
Alright, me.
So Skathis, Fibble, Zadriel, Adok, Karnos, and then Emilia, who is not there.
Yeah, I'd actually be behind Karnos.
Okay, cool. So, with that, you move forward. Now, the first thing you notice, initially, Skathis, is it's very dark in here. Your eyes start to adjust, and then as Zadriel, as the rest of your party move in behind you, and the light sort of fills the space. Wooden pillars and beams supports 10-foot high ceiling in this ice-cold cellar. It is very cool down here, which is split in two by 5-foot thick brick wall leading to your left. You can just see it in this picture here. To your left there is a big brick wall. This half of the cellar is about 8 foot tall, with a partition down the centre which is wine racks, and these are all sealed bottles. The western wine rack, which you can't see, I won't tell you about it. This one in front of you, eastern one, is about half full by the looks of it.
This is more and more territory. Zadriel, mind shining the light over this way? I'll just take 2 bottles and I'll ask them if it's all right afterwards.
I think those are full of wine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you knew this was coming, didn't you, Carnos?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Skathis, Karnos, Zadriel, Adok, and Fibblestib, I need you all to roll a perception roll for me.
16.
13.
13.
14.
Who was over 15? Is there no one over 15?
Skathis.
Skathis?
Skathis was.
So Skathis, you would again be the first to see just off in the back of this room, just out of the light, you catch movement darting from this portion of the cellar into the darkness. It looks like it's going into the other part of the cellar.
Down that hallway thingy.
Down to this area here. See it sort of move from behind this pillar and then dart down this way and disappear.
Yep. Okay. I let the others know that I saw something move rather quickly.
Then let them know. Don't tell me.
Guys, something just moved in there and went down the hallway to my left. I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yes, that.
Grabbing my axe and follow.
So you're
I'll
gonna
grab my axe.
It's going to start moving into that area.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to start moving towards this area.
Yeah, wherever he pointed. I'll
So-
keep in sort of line with Zadriel because she's got the light.
Yeah, shining.
So
the
as
light.
you move towards the area here, you crest this, sort of come through here, Skathis, and you crest this corner, and you can now, as the light follows in behind you, you can see that this rack has been emptied. So a few broken wine bottles on the floor, and you immediately, as the light starts to fill the room, you immediately in this far corner here, you see more of these twig creatures, half dozen or so, and another druid holding his staff up and waiting. And as soon as he sees you guys, got you, and points the staff in your direction, and these blights just charge at you once again. We will enter into initiative once again. 1 second before you give me your initiatives, guys. So, Kaunos.
7 this time.
7. Haddock.
17.
17. Skathis.
11.
Zadriel.
9.
Again. Bibblestep.
And once again, I burn a natural 20 for a 23.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Emilia, who is not there, so we'll get you to roll initiative anyway, Emilia, but we won't have you in this initiative order just yet.
8.
8. So, Fibblestib, you get the initiative on this. As Skathis, I would assume the moment you see these creatures, you would either say something or cry out, but again, as you all sort of crest that corner and move into within sort of the first 15 feet of this room, you just see these things rushing from across the room.
Alright, so I'm going to cast Acid Arrow at the Druid.
What's the range on Acid Arrow?
90 feet.
You're more than able to do that from where you are. He is approximately 20 feet from where your current position.
Yeah, alright, so... Ooh, there we
28. Nice.
20.
Is that a natural?
Natural 20. Yeah, that's
Natural 20. So a critical success. So max the damage on the acid arrow and then roll it.
Well, I just rolled it, which is the 8d4.
So 4 8 30. 8d4? What, 48?
Oh, no, 8d4.
8d4s, holy shit.
No, well, it's 48. No, it's 4d4 normally.
44. So
Yeah, but
it'll be
because
16
critical
plus
roll.
44.
Yeah, so I'll wipe that one.
Oh, it's automatically done it for you.
Yeah, it automatically puts doubles the damage.
So 16
so-
plus 7, so 23.
Yep, so 23, and at the end of his turn, he takes another 2d4 acid damage.
Did you have to roll to hit for that? You did, was that
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, it's natural 20. 28.
Confusing myself here. God damn it. So he is not looking healthy at all. That has covered him with acid. His clothes are smouldering. It's in his eyes. And he's sort of reeling back, trying to wipe it out from his eyes. And what you do? Asshole! And back swayed to the wall. Is that your turn?
That is my turn. I'll step out of the way to allow everyone else a nice clean path.
Adok. It is now your turn.
I am gonna grab and hold out the vampiric staff that I've got at these little charging blights and just say, "Stop! Don't move!"
That's all you're going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. It is now their turn. And they do not stop. They continue to charge. 2 of them reaching Skathis very, very quickly. What was our marching order? Skathis, Zadriel and Adok, Kaunos behind the light source, Fibblestib, and Emily is not there. So, Kaunos, 2 of them would reach you. Actually, 3 of them would probably reach you, between you and Skathis. So the first one is going to... First 2 are going to attack you, Skathis. Let's see what we got here. +3s to hit. They will both miss. 9 and a 7. So they miss. The other 3, however, move into a position about 5 feet from you, Kaunos. They don't close the gap to melee, and you see them both sort of reach their arms backwards and then just fire them forward. And you are pelted with a whole bunch of spines, not unlike pine needles. So with 3 attacks with +3, we have 1 will miss with a 2. We got a 14, and what is that one? A 9. Does any of those hit?
Nope.
Nope. So you manage to get turn your shoulder, and your armor catches the brunt of it.
So we eat them without my shield. So they all miss, but they're out of melee.
They're out of melee range, only by about 5 feet. They just sort of stop short and just fired these needles at you.
That's fine. I can't react. They're not close enough.
With that, it is now the druid's turn. The druid, you see him, hear him mutter something you don't understand, and a greenish sort of energy comes over him and then dissipates.
What does he mutter?
It was in druidic. You had no understanding of it.
But I still want to hear it.
No. It was all gobbledygook, and I can't say that. I don't know druidic, unfortunately.
We could have get Roasted to try it, couldn't we? He does a pretty good
Goblet
goblet
voice.
voice.
Druid voice again.
Emilia.
Murderbucks and fearbooks. Right, next up is Zadriel. Actually, no, Skathis. My bad. Skathis is next, then Zadriel. So Skathis, you have 2 on you right now.
Alright, attacking them.
And 6 damage for the druid. Thank you, Philsip. I did see that.
I believe that would be a hit.
That would be a hit, definitely. For all your damage.
That's an 8.
It's an 8. You manage to strike one. It does not knock it free, however. It is still scrambling around your legs, raking at you.
13 to hit.
That will hit also. Is the same one or another one?
Same one.
Same one? No problem.
7 damage.
That is enough to lodge this one free and kill it as you just grab it and twist and break away from it. Just pull it into pieces and falls along the floor in twigs and branches. And is that your turn, Skathis?
Yes, it is.
Zadriel, you are up. Karnos, you're on board after that. Actually, we'll jump over to Emilia before we go to Karnos, see what she's doing.
I'm gonna try and move to the druid.
You would be able to with your full movement. These 3 creatures seem to be engaged with the rest of your party, so gives you free reign to move to the druid. You are more than able to do so.
Going to smack him with the hammer and miss with an 11.
He manages to bring his staff up and just spot your warhammer aside. Curses!
Then smack him again with a 25.
That does hit him.
And I was like, curse this! And I hit him for 8 damage.
He takes the 8 damage. He's still alive, however. And he just looks at you and goes, "Pugh!" and spits in your face. His breath is horrible too. He's like, his teeth are all broken and rotten. He's only about 5 feet tall. He's real short, this guy. But he's not happy. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Emilia, you are up the top of the stairs. I dare say you probably would not have heard what is going on downstairs, as they are beneath you under about 10 or 12 feet of solid earth right now. What are you doing?
Well, not to be exposed as a hypocrite for telling people off for stealing stuff. She's going to go across the fireplace and take a handful of sand and put it in her pocket.
Yep.
And
Make a note.
She's gonna start to head downstairs. She's obviously feeling pretty average.
Yep.
So she's gonna take a drink of water, which is probably not going to help, and then she's going to splash some in her face.
Okay, so as you take a drink of water, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw, please.
16.
That is a failure, unfortunately. As you swallow this water, you swallow it and you feel fine for about a second, and then all of a sudden you just start retching and you start throwing up the water you've just drunk. You drop to your knees and you just retch for maybe the next minute or so. It makes you feel absolutely horrible. It's painful. It's probably the most painful you've ever felt while vomiting. Like your muscles and your stomach are tightening and you're having massive cramps, and the water itself has a really acidic feel to it in your throat.
Yeah.
So that is you for the moment. Kanos, it is now your turn.
Righto. So Karnos was still at that entryway. Is who's up and who's down? How many things have we got in front of us here?
You have 3 of these creatures standing a small distance away from you, and there is one on Skathis again, and the druid in the far corner with Zadriel.
I'm seeing Skathis getting hammered. He's getting hammered every time he gets into combat with these things. So
Well, he does walk in first almost every time, so
Yeah.
he's putting
I'm gonna
himself
get
in
in-
harm's way.
I'm going to get in right beside Skathis if I can.
Yep.
And I'm going to use... If Skathis is willing, this will happen. I'm going to use a skill I've just got called Bait and Switch. If I'm within 5 feet of a creature on my turn, I can expend a superiority die, switch places with that creature. But I have to move first, which I have.
Yep.
As long as you're willing, Skathis. Basically, I pull you out and swap positions with you, so they're on me.
Well, it's on him, as in on his body, so I don't think you'd be able to...
Oh, is he prone?
He's not prone, but it's attached to him. It's climbing on him,
I'm
on
sorry,
his
yeah.
person. Not just
misunderstood.
standing in melee range. It's literally climbing on him.
Okay, it's actually on him. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. But that is my bad. In that case, I will still attack it. I just won't. Yeah, I won't do the position I was going to
Okay.
do. So.
So you're going to attack the one that's on Skathis?
Yeah, absolutely.
cool.
I'm gonna try and come right down the front of Skathis and scrape it off and basically cut it.
Um,
cut the wings off.
Okay, I'm going to roll a d6 as you do this. Odds you just hit the enemy. Evens you hit Skathis as well.
All
Because
right.
this is a pretty dangerous tactic. But go ahead,
Double
roll to hit.
Two-handed battle axe. So hopefully I roll high anyway. 17 to hit.
17 to hit. That does hit. But I also rolled evens, so the damage will be shared.
All right. The thing's gripping you hard, man.
So roll your damage.
I cleave down and 12 damage to the
12
creature.
damage. That will kill the creature. But Skathis, you also take that damage as this creature was pretty close to you, and you get nicked, a little bit more than nicked down the arm as Karnos does kill the creature, however. But you take 12 points of slashing damage also.
And then that's an action. Oh, I got 2 actions. Yes, I can attack in and a bonus action. Oh, I'm so good.
You have enough movement to put yourself in melee with these other creatures that were beside you guys. So
Yep. Can I... No, I can't. I'm not holding my shield. Never mind. I'm just going to swipe at the next creature in range, and they're only small, so I'm going to just try and cleave it straight down the center.
no worries.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. That is
28
definitely
to
a hit. I would
Yeah,
say
alright.
you could probably cleave through 2 with this attack with a natural 20.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I see it automatically doubles the dice on here. I didn't actually notice that earlier.
Yeah, it does a double roll. I still like the way we
I'll
do it.
clear it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
still like the way
so
we do it with
That's
maxing the
21
damage.
our way.
21, that would be enough
21
to
damage.
not quite kill 2, but it kills 1 and almost kills the second. So it's definitely not looking healthy at all. It's missing an arm. We'll get disadvantage on its next attack. And it's looking
as I
pretty
drop it
pretty
down, I look at
shitty.
Skathis and I sort of glance at him and go, "Get back out of here! You're gonna get killed. You need to find Emilia."
You probably don't realise that Emily is not there at this point.
I'm just assuming she's
yeah.
behind us.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Pickle. Fair call.
And that's it for Carnos things.
The Picanos. Back to the top of the initiative with Fibblestep. There is 2 of these twig creatures left alive and a druid, which Zadriel is engaged with.
Alright, would I notice that Skathis is hurting?
Roll a perception check. I'd say you probably do. I mean, you guys are pretty well observant of your team now. Anyone that has heals would notice if someone's taking damage. And Skathis has put himself in harm's way more than once.
Yeah, he's been an idiot more than once.
Well, yeah,
So-
for someone who doesn't wear plate or chain, he is definitely not the smartest at the moment.
Yeah,
That's about
yeah,
right.
yeah, right. I'm going to take a shot at the druid first,
Okay,
because, you know, that's what I do.
that's what you do.
25 to hit.
Dad does hit.
He takes
Sorry,
a
Skathis.
whole mighty 5 points of piercing damage.
5 points of piercing damage. Where do you shoot him? Just out of curiosity.
Center mass.
Zadriel, you are immediately sprayed with the blood of this druid as the shot finds its target and sends him back against the wall. And in the center of his chest is a rather sizable hole. But he is dead. It's just that quick splash. Nothing, not huge gouts of blood, but just that splash of blood across your face as it immediately sort of knocks him back.
And then I cast Healing Word as a bonus action on Skathis for 7 heals.
No problem. So is that your turn, Vilstead?
I am done.
Adok the Grey, it is now your turn. The druid is dead. We have 2 of these twig creatures still alive. One's looking pretty sad, and the other one is looking pretty healthy.
One of them's on Skathis, yeah?
No,
Had
that one
2?
is dead.
Oh, okay.
There is
Right.
one standing. They're both standing pretty much in front of Karnos right now.
Great, fantastic. Yeah, all I do was just get my little blowgun flute and just go, and then shoot one of the
Which one are you shooting? The unhurt one or the hurt one?
hurt one.
Hurt one? Go for it. Roll your attack.
Does 11 hit?
That will hit.
Yeah, 4 damage.
That is enough to dispatch this creature as your... What the type of damage is your blow dart?
Piercing.
Is it just a proper dart that you're firing?
Yeah, just a normal piercing dart.
Not enough to disintegrate or anything, but it's enough to... You see it sort of... It gets hit by it and it looks at you sort of... You can see its eyes are like leaves and it sort of blinks twice at you. Kind of cocks its head a little bit and you see a little sad face come over it as it sort of slides down and dies. Kind of makes you feel a little bit guilty.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I am Groot.
I feel terrible right now.
Yeah, it's a very Grootish moment. You sort of give that sad face and blinks twice and then dies. Is that your turn?
Just going to think about my actions for a moment.
There's now the Needleblight's turn. And Karnos, you are the creature that is directly in front of it. So it is going to attack you with a 16 to hit.
That hits.
So you will take, sir, a whole 6 points of piercing damage as it finds a chink in your armor and just rakes its sharpened twig-like fingers across your skin. That is pretty much
Bring
its
it
turn. Skathis, you're up. You'll have
So
to
there's
move.
just-
You'll have to move into the range of the creature, but there's just the one left.
Yeah, going in. Just a question. So,
Yes.
with my unarmed strikes, I can do a third one as a bonus, yes?
Got two attacks on the action.
Yes.
Yes, you can do a second strike or third strike on as a bonus action without spending a key point. Otherwise, if you
Okay.
spend a key point, you get 2. So
Okay, no, cool. Just wanted to understand that. Cool, so I'm attacking.
I class it as two weapon fighting. You got 2 hands. I mean, double jab, right cross, double jab, kick, whatever. So yeah, you just don't add your modifier to your bonus action attack.
Okay. So 25 to hit.
That hits.
Oh wow, 4 damage.
4 bludgeoning damage. You smack it with your straight left hand. Your second attack.
22
That hits. Right cross.
with a 9 damage.
9 damage is enough to kill it as you slam it with a straight left, and then a right cross catches it in the midsection, destroying it and scattering it across the floor. And that is the end of our initiative, ladies and germs. Well done once again.
And after that, I go up to Scathus and pat him on the knee and give him another 8 points of healing.
And I
Pat him
go
on the
over
knee.
And I pat him on the other knee and give him my healing hands of 7 points of healing.
Carnos goes over, and pats him on the shoulder, and says, "Scathus, would you like me to enter the doorways first from now on?"
If you want, it doesn't bother me.
I'd hate to see you get killed by a tree. No one wants to be levelled by their own garden, right?
We're going to switch over to Emilia just briefly. So Emilia, after this vomiting, choking fit, you manage to collect yourself. Still not feeling very well, but you are no longer vomiting, and you make your way down the remainder of the stairs and into the cellar. Probably at the end of this encounter, you sort of make your way into the cellar, and you can, as you glance off to the left, you can see your companions.
Weird.
No, they wouldn't have really noticed that you weren't. They would at this point turned around to see you were way back at the door.
Emily is going to pull her hood over her head.
Yep.
And down across her face.
Okay.
But her ginger hair is going to be hanging out the front.
Okay. So, guys, what are we doing? Have vanquished your foes once again.
So how many is that? 4.
There was 5 of the creatures.
Yeah, but how many have we killed?
5.
5. Okay.
That was number 4 Druid.
Yes.
Yeah. Druids, okay, I get you.
In investigating Druid to see what shinies he has.
Yes.
Roll investigation, Mr. Phipps.
Assisting.
16.
Don't really need to assist on investigating a body. It's a low DC. Just so you're not wasting any advantages. I put a low DC on investigating bodies. You're searching a dead body. It's not going to be difficult unless you roll really, really low and they have something hidden on them. Then it would be a failure. But you find on this druid about 40 gold pieces. He has a chain around his neck. Looks like maybe silver. Nothing on it. It's just a chain. Again, wearing tattered robes. This one has an antlered headpiece. Looks like it's been tied together with vines and very ramshackle. Similar staff, or same style of staff that the others have been carrying. This dark wood and a very similar look. But that's about it.
Alright, I give the 40 gold to Karnos
I'll put it in the group container.
and the silver chain because it might be worth something. And then also give him the stick and say, you break this because Scath is not so good to it.
Alright, let's write the silver chain down so I don't forget. Silver chain. It's like a necklace silver chain,
Yeah.
is it?
Just a neck chain.
Sweet. And then I'll take my great axe, my two-handed axe, and I sort of place the staff like on the edge of the shelf so it's on an angle.
Okay.
And I just swing through the center of it, trying not to hit the axe onto the floor.
Strength check with your proficiency.
I shall do that. 15, 18 in total.
More than enough. As you lean the staff up against the shelf, give yourself as much chances of breaking this as you possibly can. Strike through, you strike true, and it cracks relatively easily and destroys the staff. Once again, all of you within sort of that 20-foot radius, that same sensation hits you in the back of the throat. This time I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
Except for Emilia, you're probably not close enough. And you're already feeling pretty crap, so.
Get +5 if you're next to me.
I'd say you would all get the +5. Zadril, you would have been grouped up to break the staff, I'd admit.
That's a 25 from Carlos.
Carlos, you are fine. You feel like nauseated, but you don't feel any other effects in that. Did anyone not exceed 18?
No, 28.
So
I
3
did.
of you did not exceed 18. 3 did not exceed 18. You instantly start to retch as this sensation washes over you. Whether you vomit or not, I would say probably not, but it's more like a dry retch, but it's enough to make you feel extremely nauseated. More so than it did before.
Yeah, until you start to hear the sounds of like a cat trying to cough.
Don't you dare! No, don't you dare! No!
But it's
I love it.
Carlos picks up the 2 bits of broken stick and he's like, as he looks around, seeing them feeling, looking ill, he's Mr. Stubb, I don't think the team is doing so well. What happened?
Magic, bad magic, bad.
I mean, you guys definitely felt it, but just not to the extreme that they did.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We need to break these staves. It's just gonna happen. We're gonna have to deal with it.
So,
Okay.
with that, guys, we will take a short break and we will return very, very shortly with the remainder of our show. Chat, glad to see you hanging out with us again this evening. It's always a pleasure. Thank you to Aircode for the raid earlier, and Anok Gaming for the follow, and Nerdy Drunk Monkey Goblin for the follow. I love that name. Great. We will be back very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. What's up, chat? So, hope everyone is doing well this evening. Grim, Mina, I see you guys there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Evildoer for those that are new to the channel. I'm from New Zealand, and we are doing some Curse of Strahd 5th edition module with a bit of a homebrew twist. It's not exactly as the module is written, putting my own little spin on it. The bunch of players that we are playing with are a group that I've been playing D&D with now for the better part of coming up 3 years. Obviously, Karnos is my younger brother. We've been playing D&D together for the best part of 25 years, give or take. And we both thoroughly enjoy it. Baz has been my DM many times, and this is not the first time I'm DMing now. I mean, my first time actually DMing a full campaign was our homebrew campaign stream on this channel, and I've just carried it on to a module. So we do have coming up in the works a Vampire the Masquerade campaign, which will be sometime within the next couple of months, where Baz will be storytelling for us. I will be playing, as will some of these other characters. They'll be playing also. We will be looking at doing another module after the Curse of Strahd. I have made my decision, and it'll be Tomb of Annihilation, which after doing a bit of research and a bit of reading on it, it looks like it'll be very cool. Levels 1 to 11, but we might be able to boost that a little bit up to level 15 again. We'll see how it goes, because I could certainly adjust some of the encounters and add some encounters to make it a little bit more interesting.
So, Baz, what are you talking about in chat?
You.
Okay.
Bunch of douchebags.
Oh, I'm a douchebag, huh?
Yep, we're all douchebags.
I can't remember when we sat down. Sean said, "Oh, the bunch of fellows we're playing with," and I was like, "Oh, a bunch of douchebags." I thought, oh.
We're all teenage dirtbags.
You've got to really be sitting here when that stuff goes on, because I really can't remember the context that was in there. At the time, it was good, you know.
And for those of you that are in the chat that are into your D&D and want to see more D&D content, Ms. Yanti is also DMing a module, Dragon of the Ice by Peak, on Fridays on her channel, which I'm also playing in. So make sure you go check out Ms. Yanti 1 on Twitch. Drax, if you could chuck up a shout out for me, please, for Ms. Yanti. And on Sunday night, she is also DMing a homebrew mini campaign for us right now, Sanctum mini campaign, which hopefully will be, well, not hopefully, we'll be finishing sometime soon to make way for our VTM. But we may revisit the world of Sanctum at a later date for another adventure, depending on how Ms. Yanti feels about that and whether she can create another mysterious case for the members of the Guardians to solve. That's if we don't all die, which is entirely possible.
I think Brol may be one of the first ones to die.
Well, Brel is a danger to himself and everybody around him, so that is entirely possible. So, without any further delay, I believe we shall get back into our story. So you guys are in the wine cellar of the Wizards and Wine Winery. You have just defeated yet another druid and a series of twig-like creatures. So you are now in this cool, very cold basement, which obviously is good for wine. You don't want to have it hot or too cold, but it's very cool. What are you doing?
Well, I'm assuming there's a way down, because we saw that, did we not?
Or what? Those
Isn't there
stairs is where you came in.
What's on either end, though?
The spiral staircase at the other end is connected to the spiral staircase. You could have gone directly to the cellar instead of stopping off at the vat room if you so wished. The other end, if you were willing to inspect it, looks like it's a ramp which leads up to the upper level, which obviously it could be where barrels can be rolled or a small cart.
So this is the lowest level.
It appears so. You can investigate further if you wish.
Yeah, investigate.
Is everyone going to investigate? We can do a collective investigation and take an average if you wish. So if everyone would like to roll an investigation check, please. Emilia, you will be back up to your +2 as the sun has probably set by now. You have been in this building for quite some time. So I would say the sun has set outside by this part of the day.
Carnos would push ahead of Skathis and he would go, now, I'll check. You can check too, but I'll make sure you don't get hurt first.
So what are our
All the climate
investigations?
All of a sudden, Carlos.
You were looking rather hurt before. I'm just looking out for your safety, my friend.
And very well then.
15 for Carnos.
15 for Carnos.
19 for Skathis.
14 for Fibble.
Got a 6 for Adok. He's just whispering commands in Zadriel's. He's like, "Oh, look over there! Look over here!" sort of thing.
Did you hell?
I got a 4. I'm like, don't you throw up on me, Adok. No. No.
Emilia?
18.
18. So as you search around this wine cellar, what you do notice is this other end seems relatively bare and empty. You go through to the other side and you search through around to barrels. There's a few barrels lying around, a few bottles. The cellar gets markedly cooler as you get closer to the north wall. And against that wall in the eastern portion of the cellar, there's 3 very frosty barrels. But on the outside has been marked with purple grape mash number 3. And it's on each barrel. And there's a single bottle of purple grape mash number 3 lies on the flagstone on the floor of the western half of the cellar. The wine rack also carries roughly 40 bottles, labels which some of them show, pull them out and look, as the winery's Red Dragon Crush wine. Emilia, you're probably the first to notice it. There's a real cold spot right on the end of this section here. And as you inspect a little closer, you can feel a breeze coming from what looks like a portion of stone that could possibly be moved.
Alright. I'll just sort of be looking at it, sort of looking at the piece of stone, sort of not really saying anything, just sort of standing in the cold.
So you're not going to mention it to them?
Or if someone comes along and asks, but
Everyone roll perception check to see if you notice what Emily is up to. 16 to beat.
someone got one.
17.
So anyone who beats a 16 would notice that Zadriel is kind of looking at this wall.
Emily is looking
Take
at the
it.
wall.
Emily, sorry, is looking at the wall very closely. God damn it.
I got a net 1, so I ain't looking far. I actually, the broken parts of the staff, I hand them to Adok, and I'm like, Adok, you could use these like drums on top of Zadriel's helmet.
You know what? That is a good idea. And I take it and I start doing like a beat.
Oh, you know you want a Zadriel, pick him up and throw him out of your pack. I would.
So I look over to Emilia and ask, Emilia, what are you looking at?
Something really cold on the wall over here. I think it's, I don't know, there might be the refrigeration system or something, which I don't even know if they'd have anything like that. Surely they would have to. Sort of mumbles under a breath because that's totally what I'm doing. Come have a look. It's really cold rock on the wall.
So I go investigate that area.
You indeed find what Emilia is pointing at. It's a very cold rock on the wall. And it, like I said, if you look at it and it looks like it possibly could be moved, or it has been moved.
I try moving it.
Strength check, please.
Oh, God. 19.
You are unable to move it. It budges maybe an inch, if you're lucky.
Carnos, could I get your help over here, please?
Certainly. What do you need, Scaphus?
That rock moved.
That rock is part of the wall.
You can see it's been moved. It's the whole thing's moved about an inch inward. Definitely movable, but it's looks to be very heavy.
All right, I sling my axe onto my back and I try and give it a. Which way do you think I should move it, Scaphus?
What is? Do you have any understanding of masonry, Carnos?
Yeah, not unless I can brew with it or cook with it. I cannot understand it.
I do.
Do you have an understanding of masonry, Skaters?
I've got masonry tools.
Are you proficient
Hang on, let me-
in masonry in your masonry tool?
Hang on.
I would say if you've got them, you would be.
I am.
Okay.
I am, yes.
So, looking at this, you know that even with Carnos, even if, at his strength, it's going to take more than one of you to move this thing. It is solid granite.
All right. I pitch in and help.
So,
Right, let's do this.
either one of you at advantage or both together, and we'll take an average.
Um,
Strength check.
can I please do something?
You're going to talk to them.
No, I'm talking to the DM. Can I do something before this happens?
What do you want to do while you're drumming on Zadriel's helmet?
I'd like to stop drumming on Zadriel's helmet because noticing that she's probably going to smack me with the hammer, my head's going to explode.
She
So,
doesn't wear a helmet.
yeah. I'm going to climb out of her back. I'm going to walk up to Scathus. I'm going to touch him just gently behind the back of the knee because that's probably where I can reach.
I'm going to tickle on the knee.
Yeah.
Coochie-coo.
And I'm going to mutter the words Gildrath. I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That will give you a D4.
Yep.
So, who is rolling at advantage, or are you rolling both together? Strength
Wait.
checks.
What do you want to do, Trashy? You want to do advantage?
Yeah.
Sweet, you go
Okay,
advantage,
strength
mate.
check at advantage with a D4.
With advantage, so I get rolling in here.
Yep.
Okay.
Roll twice, take the highest, add your D4.
So we'll go with the 7 plus 4.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
Sorry, Scaphus, I wasn't putting my shoulder into it.
It seems to be pretty heavy. You're both really struggling with it. Skates has moved it more than you both did right now.
Hang
First
on,
time.
I'll just put my pack and my shield and my axe on the ground.
Do you boys need help?
Oh, yeah, that might be handy.
Whoops.
Considering Zadriel's probably stronger than both of you.
I don't know if she
By
is.
all-
I
by
don't know,
all
yeah, I'm
means.
not sure.
By
I
all
think
means.
she's stronger than Skathers.
Anyone's stronger than me at the moment. I'm only, what, 10 in my strength.
There'd be enough room to get
Oh.
all three of you on this, so I will lower the DC if three of you, all three of you roll the strength, and we'll take an average.
Yeah, I'm going to roll it myself.
And I would like to touch.
How long does
Zadriel.
How long does guidance last for?
Last one, up to a minute concentration.
Okay. So you're going to change from Skathers to Zadriel?
I will, yeah.
Okay, so Skathers, you don't get the D4, but Zadriel, you do.
Well, I'll assist Zadriel then.
No, all three of you roll strength check. I'll take an average.
All right. Yeah, I
But
like
the
that one.
DC will be lower because there's three of you. This
Okay,
time.
I got a 12.
12.
Oh,
Zed-
Zadriel!
Zadriel. You muted, mate.
Oh, shit.
I know we lost you.
Oh, no, that
Oh, we
was-
lost you too, Sybil.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, there. What did Zadriel get? We can't hear.
15.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
she's back again. 15. The 15 and 12 and Kaunos.
14.
14. It moves about 2 feet, opening up about a foot gap. It's very heavy.
All right, we'll give it one more shove,
One more
guys.
shot?
All together. In 3, 2,
And
One,
another
bang.
strength check with all three of you, please. Zadriel, you still have D4 guidance.
And a flash of genius from me too.
Dirty 20.
What does the flash of
20.
genius do?
Gives them a +5.
Ah, well, there you go. Is that on saving throws or just ability checks?
Ability checks or a saving throw.
Nice.
Okay, that
So
would be
plus
30
fives.
for me.
Yeah, 25 for me.
Why didn't you do this before, Phil?
Yeah, he was waiting to see us struggle with the first.
Because
Gaithus,
I would have thought they would have got it.
I would have
It's
thought
a
so
fucking
too.
big rock.
Well,
Average people don't push rocks.
To be fair, the DC was 20 to start with, and it just went down with they added another person to it. So, with those rolls, the 25 and the 30, what was yours, Gaithus?
So I rolled a 6 plus 5.
To 11. Skathis is feeling a little bit weak. But between Zadriel and Karnos, you managed to move this block enough to give you access to this space. The first thing you notice is a smell. A very pungent smell comes from this space.
Hey, Doc. Do you used to live here?
I'll have you know that my place is smelling lovely, like lavender.
So, from your position in here, you get a blast of cold air. So you get you get the feeling that it's an underground cabin of sorts, and this is possibly where the source of this coldness is coming from. Maybe an underground glacier or a stream of some sorts. But you do see. Do you still have your light source up, Zadriel? It is very dark.
Yeah, I would have cast
You
it
would have
again
kept it
if
up.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
It's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do see a brown mold that's coating the ceilings and the walls, part of the floor. But it looks like it goes back a fair way down this little corridor.
I'm going to touch the mold. Is it burn or
You're
anything?
going to walk forward and touch it?
Yep.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I don't know if I recommend that. Never mind. Next, maybe put your tongue on it, right?
25.
It is very, very cold to the touch. Almost to the point it almost burns as you touch it. Almost like putting a warm hand on ice. It's very, very cold. You do take 11 points of cold damage. Even though you did save, you get half the damage. Ooh. But it is very painful to touch.
Does Zadok notice Zadriel grimace in pain, or as she's touched the mold?
How does Zadriel react?
Just put like a frozen thing, just kind of wince. But I'm gonna try and scrape some in a bottle if I can.
Roll another con save as you reach down and get close to it again to try and scrape some up.
21.
Take another 11 points of cold damage, as even just being in the proximity of this stuff, you can feel the cold on your face and on your skin. It's really starting. It's almost like a frostbite starting to form. You can feel the hairs on your skin are starting to solidify.
Okay.
And even you're starting to dry your eyes out a little bit, like the water in your eyes is starting to crystallize, being this close to it.
Did I
Do
get
we-
any in the bottle?
No, you do not.
Do we witness this under the light?
You would see her wince, I would say initially, pull her hand back quickly, as almost like she's touched something hot quickly, and then she reaches forward to try and scrape some up with a bottle, and then probably reels back in pain again as she takes more damage.
So I pick up my gear and I'm sort of wandering in, to sort of check on her, seeing her once back if no one else is there.
How close do you get to
Yeah,
it?
I'm walking. As well.
No, back up. It's not
Oh.
safe.
What's happened?
It's too cold, like freezing.
I did not think that was possible.
I don't either, but
I didn't think you could get any colder than what you already were.
wow, Ganos. That's very complimentary of you. Back up though.
Okay.
So do you back out of this space?
Yeah.
Completely? Yeah. And as you back away, you it's still cool. Like this room, you now know that whatever this is what's cooling this area.
This is a
And
real
it's
good way
keeping
to
it
keep
it's
my brew
keeping it
cool.
at a very consistent temperature. But every time you got close to it, it was painful to get that close to it. It's very, very icy cold.
I dare say we put this back. This,
As
because it's rather huge.
The big
slate, isn't
stone,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, Doug?
now, call me crazy, but we went to all that effort to move the rock. I kind of want to know what's in there. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna put my backpack down, rummage through, and bring out my little cannon with 2 tripods, and I'm gonna touch a little slot on it, and I'm gonna build a flamethrower cannon.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it to walk forward, and I'm gonna turn to everyone else and go, "We all agree that in here is cold, yeah? So, theoretically, if I were to fire into cold, it'd make it warm. It's not gonna burn the winery down. And as I do that, I push a button and make it shoot out flame into the space.
How close do you? What range is on your fire cannon?
It is a 15-foot range, but I can move it up to 60 feet away from me.
So,
I hold my shield up in front of anyone, myself and anyone who wants to.
so
be
you put it
behind
within
me.
15 feet of the mold and then move away from it, is what you're saying? To fire
Yep.
it?
Yep.
So as you fire this little cannon and it fires its flame out 15 foot down this narrow corridor, I'd say you'd be still in view of what's happening. And what you see is the mold itself doesn't react for a moment. And then all of a sudden, your cannon explodes as the flame almost returns back to it. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw since you would be the closest to your cannon.
Oh, I can move 60 feet away from it, though.
You don't have 60 feet to move away from it. You
Oh,
are
okay.
literally between, there's
Sure.
5 feet between the door and the wall. So the furthest you could have gotten away is 10 feet from your cannon.
11.
You will take 9 points of piercing damage from the shrapnel from your cannon as it seems to have basically destroyed itself, from what you can tell. Whatever the stuff is, it reacts very strangely to fire indeed.
I'm going to pick myself up off the ground and just go, oh, right. I don't think that was a very smart idea. Yeah, let's put a stone back.
Interesting stuff.
You know what? Leave the stone. They can do it themselves. We are here to clean out the druids, right?
Put it back. It's not going to hurt us to put it back.
It might hurt my back to put it back.
I'll help.
Oh, you're gonna help get... Okay.
I got more strength
I'll just
than
put it back.
Skathis.
I'll put it back on my own.
You're going to try and drag the stone back into position?
Yeah, try and push it back into position if we can.
Well, you won't be able to push it because you'll have to get
it's-
behind it.
Right, yeah.
You'll have to drag it back in from your side.
Well,
So
that'll
this
be much harder.
DC will be higher because there is not a whole lot to grip onto.
All right, get in here, team. Get in here. As many as we can on it. 3, 4,
Probably
Yeah,
maximum maybe 3.
3. All right.
Maybe Fibble could potentially aid you guys if he was close enough to give you
I
the plus
got a
5.
19.
But Fibble, are you going to give them the plus 5?
Oh, I'll give it the plus 5 too.
Okay.
Sweet.
So
that's
add
30,
5 to
20.
your rolls, guys. So Skathis, Zadriel, and Karnos. Strength check with plus 5,
Makes me 24.
24. And yours was 18, Karnos?
20 for Carlos in total.
10.
Was that with the plus 5?
I'm very sad about the cold comment.
And I would be giving them a bonus of 20
Okay.
because I helped.
So averaging it out, It would take an effort. Take you about 20 minutes or so to sort of move it and wedge it and sort of twist and turn it, and eventually you'll get it back into not its exact position, but enough of a position where it would block any entrance into this little area. But it definitely took a bit of effort.
Just with the roar of the cannon fire, the rumble of the fire would probably make Emilia throw up again.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Because I mean, you think a rumble of a flame, of a big fire, in a compact room.
It was
someone who's already
faced
been
away.
hit,
Yeah, it was
but-
faced away from you guys, so it probably would have been
Still.
less affected. But if you think that Emily would have been affected by that, we can roll with that.
Sweet.
So yeah, if anyone was close enough to Emily, you would notice that she's thrown up and probably not looking too good. Her hood is down, so you probably can't really see her face too much, but she definitely seems unwell.
Emily, are you okay? Did you throw up on that stick too?
Just leave me be for a while. I'm not feeling happy. She's sort of looking at the ground, with, like leaning against whatever's next to her.
Adolf, did you feed her one of those pastries?
I would not waste one of those pastries on her.
Going to feel her forehead.
Does Emily allow Zadriel to feel her forehead?
If she tried to put her hand up underneath Emilia's hood, for one, Emily will try to push it away, and two, you might get something weird and sticky on the back of your hand. Just saying.
So you're gonna jerk your head back or try and push your hand away?
Try and push her hand away.
So as Zadriel, as you reach out, Emily just puts her hand up and bats your hand away. Do you say anything?
No, I'll leave it for now.
Does Emilia say anything?
Muted.
Muted, Drax.
Thank you. Emily will draw her hood back, and you'll see her face. It's like her eyes are sort of like bloodshot, and then her face looks like she's been thrown up.
Yeah, she'll be very pale, sweating, and her eyes would be reasonably bloodshot.
I would try to cast Lesser Restoration on Emilia.
Is that a divine spell?
No, it just cures one disease condition, poison, paralyzed, deaf, and blinded. Because I think she is sick, so
You cast it.
that's what I would do.
Nothing seems to change, though.
And we all notice this now with her hood down.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, she's looks ill.
Emilia, is this the part where you tell us that your beast is beginning to come forward? You do not look very good.
I don't know what's happening. I just feel sick.
Karnos turns the blade of his double axe around and he says, and he got the cross Fribblestone put into it for him, and he says, I'm just going to touch you with this and see what happens. And he tries to touch her with it.
Do you react, Emilia?
If he tries to touch your face, he will.
No, like a hand, like on your hand or something.
She won't. She'll allow it as long as it's not touching her face.
So you reach out and press the holy symbol that was embedded into your axe against Emilia's hand.
Yep.
Doesn't react.
Alright, so she's not an unholy beast, more so than what she was before. Anyone got a plan?
I mean, we could just leave her here.
Your axe still up, Carnos?
Sorry, say that again?
Is your axe still up in the...
Yeah, yes,
holding?
yep.
I'm gonna cut my finger and put it in front of her.
Emilia, as Zadriel bleeds in front of you, you make no reaction. Smells fine, but you have no interest in Zadriel's blood.
What do you
She
think
does
it-
not. She does not react.
Maybe you'll feel better.
Hang on a minute. And I do the same thing with my blood and hold it forward.
Emilia, the smell of human blood, however, you can now, like your heart, you can hear your own heartbeat beating in your ears, beating in your throat as the scent of Karnos's blood hits your nostrils. The sensation that now starts to run through your body is almost intoxicating. Roll a wisdom save for me. Add your +2. It is night time. 16. For a moment, you see. What part of did you cut, Karnos? Your finger, your hand?
I would have done like the end of my sort of second or first finger.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
As he holds it out in front of you and you catch sight of it, just the sight of that amber, that red.
Probably is amber the amount of meat I drink.
Probably. the nectar, the sanguinous liquid that is spilling from Karnos's finger. Initially, all you want to do is gorge yourself. That's the initial thought that comes to your mind. But you close your eyes for a second, you swallow deeply, and you are able to control yourself. So your reaction is up to you at this point.
Emilia is going to reach across and grab Zadriel's finger and cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you, Emilia.
She's going to take 6 points of healing.
And
Sure.
your wound on your finger closes as she does
Sure, it's
so.
not. You sure it's not strawberry sauce or anything like that?
You need to eat, maybe.
How do you feel? I mean, you obviously feel sick, but did Zadriel's blood do anything for you? Did my blood do anything for you? You're getting racy heart, you know, you feel like turning into a bat. Fibble, have you got something to cure?
A steak.
Yeah, I don't. Do you have a steak? Why we've been eating fucking soup from cat?
He means a wooden steak, Carlos.
Oh right. Oh, I expected that answer from Adok more than I expected it from you, to be honest. But
How about we go finish what
It's
we've
the only thing I
started
know.
here?
Yeah, look, it's the only thing that I know that cures vampirism.
You drank that dead druid over there, maybe?
oh, that's not a silly idea.
Emilia will reach across and grab Karnas's finger. And after a few seconds, will cast Cure Wounds. And you'll get 11 points of healing.
11 points of healing. If you need it, your wound also closes.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks, Emilia. You're not tempted at all.
And Emilia will say, I don't know. I could try the druid, but I don't know. I don't want to hurt you guys.
I appreciate that. That makes me feel much better. And I'm pretty sure, and he looks over at Adok, pretty sure it makes us all feel much better.
Yeah, right. Sure. We'll go with that. As Adok is just staring, hasn't left his gaze off Emilia.
Zadriel is pulling the dead druid by the arm, dragging it over.
He's in the other room.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
She walks
I'm
out.
going.
I'm assuming you walk out and grab him, drag him over. Emilia, what do you do?
Emily will go across to the druid, and with her left hand, she'll draw out a dagger from underneath her robes.
Yep.
But with her right hand, which she just used to heal Carnos's wounds, she's gonna lick that with her tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, them not noticing that.
You want to hide that? So slide a hand, please.
12.
Versus passive perceptions. Who has a higher passive perception than 12?
I was just gonna say, adult will be watching Emilia the entire time intently.
Yeah. So what's your passive perception?
9.
You wouldn't see it. She was trying to hide it. So Scathus, however, you probably would have noticed that motion. I mean, she's got it back to you, so you probably wouldn't know what she was doing. You could assume, but you definitely saw that motion hand to mouth from with her back turned to you guys. So what you devise from that is entirely up to you.
I'll leave it up to Fibble. I'm doing nothing.
Just watching.
Carry on, Emily.
Emily will go across to the druid, and she'll stab him and take his blood into her hands. And will that do anything for her?
Are you going to cup it in your hands, or just one hand, two hands?
One hand holding the dagger, the other hand cupping what's coming out.
Okay. As you lift it towards your face, you hesitant at first, even to try it, 'cause you're not entirely sure what's going on. You inhale deeply initially. That initial smell is very similar to Carnos's, but very quickly it doesn't feel right to you. There's something not right about this blood. And you know within yourself that if you drink this, it's going to make you very sick.
Emily is just going to sort of sway backwards and sit into a sitting position, and her hand, which has the blood on, she's going to put behind her onto the ground and basically lean on it. And basically say, no.
Not your type of blood.
No, must be AB. Don't like the flavor.
Roll an intelligent, actually not intelligent for you, be nature. So a nature check, add your proficiency modifier as well.
24, 26.
26. Just from the smell of the blood and what you're feeling within yourself right now, you know without a shadow of a doubt that if you drink from the dead, that it will have catastrophic effects on you.
Was that dead as of instantly dead, or?
Anything that's heart is not beating.
Okay.
So anything that is recently died or just something that's not living, you need to consume the blood of the living. It's essentially what you gain from it in order to sustain yourself. And you know that what you're feeling at the moment, your illness is just from the water. It's from the water. That much is evident. You're not entirely sure what it means, whether it's going to be lasting. You haven't figured that out yet. But just what you know of blood in general, drinking from the dead is a bad idea.
Sweet. Emily is going to clean her dagger on her robe and then basically push herself backwards against the wall.
So you're not feeling like you're going to drop dead or anything. You're just feeling nauseated. And to the rest of you, it looks like she's coming down with a flu. Essentially, that's the type of symptoms you can see externally. Sweats, sort of reddened eyes. She just generally looks lethargic and unwell.
What's wrong, Emilia? What's going on?
I can't drink that thing. It will make me worse, I know. I don't know what to do.
Do you think you are becoming vampire?
Possibly.
I've got a couple of ideas if you want to hear them.
Not especially.
He ought to be good.
Didn't quite catch what you said. Do you want to hear my ideas or not?
As
Well,
long as
they-
it doesn't involve killing her, it should be great.
What is
Well-
it, Arno?
That is one of the ideas, yeah. One of them is we could kill you. That ends all your
Shut
shit.
up.
I'm not done yet. Secondly, is clearly you need some sustenance, right? What we all know that vampires need. Yeah, everyone's got big enough brains. You need blood, specifically human blood. So, what I'm thinking, yeah, even though now I don't like you at all, I don't trust you, I do wish you were dead, but what I'm going to say is you are of some benefit to us at the moment, and we do need you at full strength. Now, what also do we know about Barovia? There's a lot of, soulless people walking around, mindless, they don't really sort of think about stuff. Pretty much like cattle. Dare I say it? Am I crazy? But they're not human.
Ad hoc, roll a history check for me quickly. You probably not heard, or you may have heard that, and want to see how good your memory is.
That's
Your
17.
memory's a bit spotty at the moment. So, with a 17, yeah, you've heard stories about many of the people here are soulless. Hard to tell which ones are and which ones aren't, but essentially, yeah, you're right. This place has been designed as a farm, if you will, for Starhd, and has
So, do you think you'd have to kill someone or just drink them?
That's where I'm getting at, Fibble. See, you're catching on my wavelength. We don't really need to kill anyone. You just need a bit of blood, right? Now, we can either... Karnos, the only human of the place, we can drain him for a little bit, give you some. Or, Karnos, you probably don't want to do that. Probably not a fan of needles. And would have to pick you twice. 2 needles to keep it even. We could potentially try and just grab a random person, drain them a little bit, fill it up with vials, not kill them, just give you enough to keep you going, so that you don't...
milk them. That's what
Yeah.
you're doing. Yeah, milk.
Yeah, right.
If we go around milking Barovia, what if she just bites the bad guys while we're fighting?
Yeah, that's the other idea. She could, attack a bad guy.
I mean, that's also a very valid idea. But Emilia, do you think that you've got enough control within yourself that you wouldn't potentially just kill someone outright if you were to just sink your fangs into them?
I'm
Yeah,
not 100% Emily would know that she has to bite somebody in order to drink them.
I think she's getting the idea, but generally, she probably hasn't. She's definitely not done it yet. And what she has been told by Starhd, that if she does that, then that would tip her to the extreme. So she wouldn't want to do that. She knows that doing that is what's going to maybe tip the scales against her and her friends. But at this stage, just bleeding them and drinking from a live human host is definitely doable, and it's something that she probably would do given the opportunity. But the thought of biting someone and draining their blood that way probably at this stage still repulses her and frightens the crap out of her.
Yeah. I think I could probably take someone's blood without doing it, but the idea of biting someone, makes me feel like I'd be like Starhd, and I don't want to be like him.
We're not talking about eating someone. We're talking about just nibbling. Take a pint.
Carnos, come on.
Hang on. Carlos, come on, what?
You like pints? Give her a pint.
I don't know if you understand what's going on here. I do not mind giving my blood heroically for the greater good.
Well,
But-
yes.
But what happens if I, and you're not biting me specifically, I will drain it into a bottle if I am to do so. What happens if we give her this blood for the greater good and she just becomes an evil demon vampire
We
and we
kill
have
her.
to kill her?
Yeah, why don't we kill her? Yeah, that's
We
pretty
kill
easy.
her.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but the
Zadriel
biggest,
gets out a bottle.
the biggest swinging death blows either comes from Zadriel accidentally or me purposefully. So I don't know if I like this idea as much as it seems.
I'm with you. I don't feel like probably in this situation in the winery with those weird creature druid things with the twiggy stuff. I don't feel like draining someone in our party is a good idea right now.
Let's
But-
do it at bedtime, right, where it's a bit safer. We don't have a whole lot of crap going on.
I still vote that we just capture someone around these lands, just some random person that looks like they don't have a consciousness or whatever. We just drain them a bit.
What
and we
the?
give it.
Are you absolutely serious? I can't believe you're saying that.
Well, it's fine. No,
You
look,
can't
it's.
just. You're like those witches. You're trying to steal children and put them in a box.
I mean, we could still. Do you want a child, Emilia? Is that?
Are there any more druids here?
This is getting out of control. Edok,
Well, that being said, there's still one more druid apparently, so she could always just have a nibble of him before he dies.
All right, great.
Yeah, I got a plan. Next time we see a druid, I'm running in. I'm going to grab him, hold his arms behind his back, and you take a nibble on him. Is that cool? We could look something like that.
No, but
Or we could just knock him unconscious.
yeah,
and
but
after she eats, kill him. Type deal.
like, what Emily was saying before. She doesn't want to nibble on someone because she's against that. As much as
Okay, not nibble then. We'll get her a glass, we'll pour some blood
Yeah,
into it,
right.
and she can
Stab
drink from
him
the
in the
glass
head.
while we're killing the bloke.
Yeah, I'll hold him. Zadriel, drain him, hand the glass to her, and we don't kill him until she's finished the glass of blood. Bingo, it's done.
Zadriel will quickly pray to her DM nonchalantly in her head whether or not that it is in her code to drain people for a vampire or if she should kill her. That is what Zadriel is doing.
Roll a d6, Adriel.
And while she's doing that, Carlos has picked up his gears and he's headed through the door to look for another druid. He doesn't want his blood taken.
Do you want me
Adolphus.
to say? Oh,
Yeah,
go
what'd you get?
2.
You get the impression from just your brief sort of prayer that it's probably okay if they are not very nice people do something like that, but just your beliefs, you're definitely not someone innocent. You're not going to take blood from an innocent person without their consent. That is definitely against what you believe in.
Carry on, everyone. I'm quietly thinking.
The Carnos has now gotten up and headed for the door.
Yeah, I'm shouting out. I'm
That-
banging my shield and axe together and going, "Come on, druid, it's time to die."
We're trying to turn Emilia into a bagger.
I'm following Carnos.
Well done. So who is following Carnos out? So you're all
Yeah,
following out?
I'm following.
Carnos goes first, Skater second, Bibblesib, yay nay.
Behind Emilia now.
So you're going to put yourself next to and behind Emilia. Zadriel, you have the light source. It is still dark down here. So Carnos, you'd be wandering around. You would be walking into darkness if you were leading.
I'll go
Carlos
ahead.
Carlos sheaths his shield because she will catch up, but at the moment it's dark. He will pull the torch he has out of his backpack and light that up.
No problem. Duly noted.
So torch in one hand, axe in the other.
So I'm assuming you all eventually follow suit. You leave this basement area, head back up into the bottling area. From there, that leads you back into the vat room. So about the only place you really haven't kind of searched is the stable and the small shed outside. The rest of the place you're fairly well searched, and you're pretty certain there is no more threats inside the winery itself.
Stable it is then.
You're not leading, so you don't
Carlos-
get that choice.
Yeah, Carlos at the front would keep walking, but say, thoughts
talk about it.
which way?
Talk it out, guys.
Which one's closer, the stable or the shed? The closest one.
Stable.
Stable probably would be closer.
Stable is closer.
Excellent, stable it is, and I lead to the stable.
So, in the stable, you find your way back out to the loading dock, around to the front of the building, open the stable doors, which are closed, they're not locked, and inside you find 2 draft horses, quietly munching on some hay. 2 stalls, the third one is empty. You assume these are the horses they use to draw the cart with wine on it.
Ad hoc, what do you think a horse is worth?
A fair bit of gold, especially here. Do you
No.
want to take one or two?
No, I'm thinking, Amelia, can you feed off an animal?
Oh,
No.
Well,
I can buy them a new one, Zadriel. It's fine.
I don't think anything other than human blood's going to
All right.
do it for
Uh,
me.
And I nod my head and I say, all right, who's searching the stable? I'm holding an axe and a torch. It's not very bright of me to start searching with the flaming fiery torch in my hand.
I'll
That's the
search.
most intelligent thing you've said in a while, Carlos.
Thank you, Figgle. It's nice to see someone's on my side.
I'll go in there and start looking around.
Same.
Adult will go over to the horses and attempt to try and woo them.
Animal handling.
Wait, what?
You're going to try and
Adult.
woo a horse. So animal handling with disadvantage as you're trying to make sexy eyes at the horse.
Adult. That's
Would
not
I
even
know
your
this?
species, dude.
Would
What
I
the hell?
notice this?
No, I meant
What
to
did-
make friends with them.
What did you
I got a-
roll?
I got a 4.
As you
Just
walk
get-
up to this horse, the horse starts to freak and just starts getting really restless in its stall as this little green, greyish, goblin-y dude with bright yellow eyes and very sharp teeth starts walking up to it, making googly eyes. It is freaking out. Like it rears up, stomps its feet as you get close to it. It is not happy that you're there.
I'm gonna cast speak with animals and tell it to calm down, and I will make sure Adak moves away.
What is that? Get it away from me!
Adak, fuck off, go, get.
Oh, no,
Please,
no,
it's scary.
Very scary.
I just want a pet. I'll just walk
All
off.
right, you know what? What is your name? I say in horse.
Horse.
Can he just pet you? He loves furry teddy bears and things.
He wants to eat me.
I will make sure he does not eat you.
Takes you about 10 minutes to calm this horse down. The horse is freaking out, but eventually it does calm down. Roll a persuasion check for me, quickly, Zadriel.
15.
It does eventually come to a point where, Adok, if you were still wanting to pat the horse, it seems to be calm enough to allow you to approach at this point.
You want me to lift you up?
Yeah, can you put me on its back?
They're pushing it. Maybe pet it first.
All right.
What is it?
He wants to sit on your back, but I just told him to pet you first.
Yeah, just Adolf's just gonna
Okay.
reach out, pat on the side, be like, yeah, that's a good little horsey, ain't ya? Do you want to come with that, dog? Do you want to come with me?
Hell no.
That's a negative ad hoc. I don't think. We should probably look for the druid, maybe.
I was just about to say, Carlos turns around and says, I'm looking at the shed now.
There is no druid in the stable.
Yeah.
The rest of you would have looked around enough. I mean, if there was a druid there, it would have probably attacked you by now. But there is no druid in the stable. You spend your time doing that. Karnos, you turn and head off towards the direction of the well and the shed out on the opposite side of the building. And as you round the corner and get close enough to it, you roll a perception check for me as you get close to this building, please.
A great big 6.
As you get close enough to this building, you firstly notice the door has a crescent moon in the single door. Everybody knows what that means, and you would know straight away this is not a shed. It's very much an outhouse. And as you get closer, the smell confirms that this is definitely the outhouse.
Zadriel,
I'm pulling ad hoc off the horse. Yes.
there's a door here with your opposing symbol. I think it's the direct opposite to you. You are the sun and it has the moon.
Yeah, go in there and check if there's any demons in the.
It's pretty smelly in
Abyss.
here. I think it's more of a probably not a place I need to go. And you said there's a well, didn't you?
There is a well about 10 feet to your right.
I'm just going to check the well if that's all right with you, Zadriel, while you're playing, horsing around.
You'd have to yell this. There's about 40 or 50 feet difference between where you are and where they are.
All right, I'm yelling it for sure.
So if there was any druids around, they would definitely hear you right now.
I want them to come to me.
I'm pretty sure that was the case. Quick roll here.
Is anyone with me? Who's with me?
Did anyone follow Karnos?
I am getting closer.
I'm still in the shed.
Skathis,
I would
yeah,
be
Skathis
in the
would have
shed
followed.
Exploring it.
Emily will follow.
You might
Carlos.
cut in and out there, Trash. I'm not sure what's happening, dude. So what's Emily up to?
Emily will follow Carlos.
Okay.
And I'm assuming Trash as well. But
Yep, Skathis. So you got Skathis and Emily with you.
Okay, I'd say, all right, just stand back a bit while I peer down the well. Emilia, if you're circle of the moon or something like that, maybe that outhouse is your territory, I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm going to have a look down this well. I don't know if it's safe, so stand back. And I sort of get towards the well and I sort of hold my torch out so I can see down it without leaning over it too far because
Okay.
I'm expecting tree men and druids to jump out and get me.
As you look, sort of peer as much as you can down the well, reflection of the torch sort of bouncing off the side, and eventually do see the shimmer of water, maybe about 15 feet down.
Okay. I relax and sort of
Yeah.
look in better.
As you look closer, there's no one in there. It's just a well. The
Alright,
bucket is sitting next to it. On it, there's a rope curled up next. Well, hasn't got a winder on it. It's one you throw the bucket down, hold it up by hand. But it's just a well.
All right, there doesn't seem to be anything in here. Hey, Zadriel,
Carnos.
can you turn a whole well of water into wine?
Yes. But I'm going to check the other horse. I'm going to talk to the other horse.
All right.
And what are you going to say to the other horse?
What's your name?
Horse!
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you spoke horse. That's all. Going to check the outhouse.
You're going to go check the outhouse.
Oh,
So you make your way around to where Karnos and you see Karnos and the rest of them sort of standing around the well checking that out. You approach the outhouse, the building with the crescent moon on the door. Do you open the door?
Yes.
As you
Carlos
open the
cries out,
door,
wait, stop! Before she pulls it wide
Okay.
open. He says, are you going in there?
Yes. I'm looking for sticks and logs.
Do you have some dock leaves?
Carlos.
Just making sure, you don't want to go in there and have no dock leaf, because then you get it all over the back of your armor, and that's not good for you.
You know what? I might need your help. Actually, you come with me.
I'll tell you what, you open the door and I'll hold my torch so you can see. That's actually, no, that's a good idea, to be honest.
boom! No. So as you open the door to the outhouse, you see nothing but an outhouse. The sweet-smelling herbs that hang from the interior don't really mask the smell that's coming from the interior of the outhouse too well. But it is empty.
No toiletries in there.
God.
How big is the hole for the outhouse?
Big
Is it
enough
big enough?
to stuff a goblin,
But not a human?
not a human. I mean, if it was big enough for a human, you'd fall in when you're trying to take a shit.
So now, about that well of wine.
You know, you haven't been very nice to me today, Carlos. I'm not going to wine you with favors.
I thought I was. Well, have I not been nice? And he looks at the crew. What did I say?
The cold as you comment in the mushroom cave, really?
Scathus is there, just shaking his head. And I fixed my mic.
Well done.
Was that? Oh, I didn't actually think about that. I just said it. I apologise if I offended you.
So we've looked everywhere, yeah?
As far as you are aware, you have cleared the winery of all combatants.
And we are outside,
You
so
are
do we
outside.
still see Adrian in the tree across the way?
It is dark. It's gotten dark outside, so you do not see Adrian anywhere at this point. There are a number of crows still hanging around on the exterior of the building.
Do you want me to find Adrian?
I suggest we just go back to that camp that we found them at.
Yeah, it could help.
So, you want to head back to the camp through the trees? You
And-
got a rough
and rest
idea.
up.
It's
Rest up for the
dark.
night.
Yeah, it's dark. You got a rough idea where you go. So, who is going to head the nature check to see if you can find your way?
I've got the torch going still.
Yep.
I don't know how long it lasts. And I call out,
I think it's about an hour. I think you get about an hour burning out of it.
and as we're walking, I call out, Adrian!
And while
Who
they're
who
doing
wants
that,
to head the nature check to see if you can find your way in the dark?
I'll do it, but at the same time, I'd pick up 5 little stones, make them glow, and start juggling them.
Okay, juggling. Dexterity check, please.
Emilia, maybe you would be better to know the way.
21 on both checks.
Nice. So as Fibblesib expertly juggles these glowing stones to give you a reasonable amount of light, his memory seems to be adequate enough, and his knowledge of the way you came through the trees to the camp where you were led initially. After about 25-30 minutes or so, you managed to spy a small fire glowing in the distance. A couple of figures sitting around it. Two or three small tents. As you approach, you do find Adrian and Divine sitting at the fireplace, sipping a drink out of a cup. It's steaming, so you can assume it's either coffee or tea or something of some form of hot beverage. They have not seen you at this point. You're about 15 feet off.
Cast light on my shield and shine it toward them.
Can
So
I have a
that
bit
they-
of fun with them?
Oh, no. What?
As do you cast light on your shield?
Yeah.
As the light starts to illuminate the forest, you notice Divine's the first one to sort of cock his head to one side, and he stands. He's old, but he stands, and you can see he's in a semi-defensive position, and Adrian follows suit, sort of peers through, and as you guys approach and get closer, you see them both relax as they recognise you as you approach. Divine then resits and says, Come, sit. Tell us how you get on. Please. Fire, come, sit by fire. It might rain soon. Please. Come.
All right, sit down.
Yeah, Karnos throws what's left of his torch on the fire because you only get an hour out of them. He
Yep,
throws it on
roughly,
the fire and sits down with them as well.
Yeah, it looks
Drax.
Well, we did not use fire. That is a good thing.
This is good. This is good. Did you did you find out what happened? What is the winery okay?
There were these druids. They had these staffs of dark energy and these little twigged people.
Yes, we've seen the twigmen. We see a lot of them, but we saw a lot of them destroy earlier today, this afternoon. Is that you?
Probably. Sadriel, do you want to, like, break that last one and throw it in the fire? Because I don't think we need it anymore.
Doctor, you want to say something?
Well, hang on. Let's just think a moment before we break it. We still don't know how to use it. We potentially could still use it.
Stuff.
Oh,
Do you mind? Do you mind? Please.
Well, you gonna break it?
Give to me.
Well, you gonna break it?
Just give it, little one, please, quickly. And he holds out his hands.
See, I don't know if he's gonna break it or not. I don't know if I should give it to him. I kind of want to use it, maybe, for something.
Do not want to use powerful dark magic. You will fall prey. Same as druid. They crazy. Stuff me crazy.
Oh, all right, whatever.
Well,
Here you
I
go.
don't think that's going to really matter with adult. Yeah.
So you hand it over to him, and he holds it in his hands, and he looks at it, and you watch his eyes flash over blue for a second as he looks over the staff, and he then places it down just in front of him on the ground at the moment and looks over to you guys, sort of clasps his hands together and says, "You want to know what staff is, yes?
Oh yeah.
Want to know what it does?
Yeah. Please.
This is Gothias stuff. It's very powerful. It is made from a branch of the Gothias tree. It's dark magic. Starhd create tree. When you break, it kill all plight in area, a big area. But it also have, when you hit with it, it drain life from enemy. But also drain life from you as well.
So, Adok, do you want to use the staff now?
Yeah, no, I'm good, eh? Yeah, no, I'm pretty
Again,
good.
I say, dark magic. And you then see him raise his hand, pick it up again, and passes it over to Adrian. And Adrian looks at you guys and says, "This be better if it is destroyed." And he just snaps it over his knee, single strike over his knee, and chucks the pieces in the fire. And once again, every one of you get that same sensation in the back of your throats. Even you see Divine sort of, sorry, foul magic. You hungry? You eat? We have food. Drink.
Yeah, I could go buy to eat.
You can see on the hanging over the campfire is a small pot, and it's about 2/3 full with some kind of stew. It's steaming. It smells pretty good. From anyone want to make a nature check, you can sort of try and determine what sort of meat is in it, but it looks like it's meat and vegetables, thick gravy, and looks like it's a big, probably 2/3 of a big bread bun that's left as well that you can break off and have with it.
Carlos will check
help
if he
yourself,
loves cooking.
Okay, you are proficient in cooking too, I believe.
I am indeed. That's a 15.
15. Add your proficiency as well.
That will be 18 then.
18. You pick it up in the spoon. You have a bit of a sniff. You look at it, and it is something that you have probably cooked many times yourself in your many journeys, and it is a rabbit stew.
Ah, cat. I mean rabbit. Rabbit.
What was that?
So it's frog stew?
And it's definitely rabbit. It's not quite as good as the cat stew, I don't believe, Adolf. Because I just dipped my finger in. I'm like,
At that point, Adolf's going to pull out the scorched cat remains that he's got in his bag. He's going to go, well, if you want, we can add some cat to it. Maybe that's going to help it.
And Deviant sort of looks at you and says, "Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, great.
It tastes good. Yes."
Adolf's going to walk over and drop the cat in the stew. Scorched cat.
So
Very good, very good.
when,
You eat, all of you, eat please. And he grabs some bowls and scoops them, hands you a bowl, Karnos, Adok, hands one to you, Fibblesturb, Skathis, even he hands one to you, Emilia. Do you take it? Do you accept it?
just gonna say, when he snapped the staff, Emily was gonna basically almost throw up in her own mouth.
Yeah, she would have. Yeah, she's still feeling pretty sick. So
When she saw the cat go into the stew, she's going to leave the group and literally go throw up in the trees just behind them.
So you guys probably would hear Emilia retching, probably about 10 or 15 feet from the camp.
If I hear her
Is she
retching,
all
I'm
right?
turning to retch.
Is she okay? She's sick. Staff can do that. Sorry, you probably already had dealings with staff. So sorry. Zedrian, you here?
Someone
Or
ask
you.
him about the picture in the horse, and I run off to puke.
Do they not? What is wrong with food? I don't understand.
oh
They
no.
don't like cat.
Why? It's so good.
They don't like cat.
All right, more for me and more for you.
I taste it. What does it taste like?
It's pretty good. I mean, even with the scorched cat, it's a little smoky, little charred flavored, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, it's pretty nice. Mr. Stibb, have you tried it? It's bloody good. I can see why their moon house smells like it does.
So we'll switch over to Zadriel and Emily just briefly. So you go check on Emilia, Zadriel.
I'm going to throw up.
Are you going to go throw up with
if
Emilia?
I heard her throwing up, it's going to make me throw up.
Okay, so Zadriel heads off and retches, and all you guys can probably hear them both freaking hurling cookies in the trees. But
I looked to Carlos going, no constitution.
so you cleared a winery of Druid and Richer, yes?
We think so.
Good. And did you happen to find seed anywhere?
What?
A seed,
This thing?
stone, about this big.
And I
green.
pull out the jewel that we got from that first druid.
Yeah, so that was
It was?
the seed like about the size of a pine cone, and as you produce it, you see his eyes just widen, and he's probably moved quicker than you've ever seen him move in the couple of times you've met him, and he comes over to you and almost snatches it from your hands, and says, "Oh yes, brilliant, thank you so much." Right,
I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
give him the
there is
key
more.
that's on the chain too.
key. This for front sliding door for letting people in and out. Very good, thank you. So he then, to find my notes here. There's notes on this. He then tells you that this stone he says to you, this is one of 3 stones. We need to get all 3 to bring Vineyard back to its former glory. This is one. We will put it back, but I believe you are friend, yes? Against Starhd and things dark. You are good people. And he says, here. And he hands over a pouch to you, Fibblestip, as you're the one that had the stone. And if you open it, do you open it? As you open and peer inside, you can see that there is what looks to be about 300 gold pieces inside this pouch. He says, here, for you. Please, take.
And I give it straight to Karnos.
If you are willing to help more, could you find other stone, please? We believe the other stones are in a place called Berez. Do you have map?
And I pull out the map that we've got.
And he points on your map to a place called Berez on your map. He also points to, he says, the other place is a place called Yester Hill, where Druid hang out. It's where they live, and it is evil place. So, on your map here, where is Yester Hill? I'm going to bring my other map so I can tell you where it is. One second. Maps.
Jadriel's walking back now.
So as you're walking back, you hear them talking about the Yester Hill, the Druids, and I'm a pain. Just points to the map and says, Berez here and Yester Hill here. That's where you'll find the other 2 stones. So the ruins of Berez is what he's talking about. And that is in... find it on my list of things. And you... map is a pain in my butt.
You really shouldn't have it up there.
No, that one's a good map. That's your map. My map is different.
No, I think he's referring to the fact that you shouldn't have the map up your butt.
Yeah, that's what I thought he meant too.
That's just wrong, Trashy.
Hey, you brought it up.
As the money's being handed over to Karnos, Alex just kind of whisper to Karnos and go, look, I don't know if you remember in the cold spot where my cannon blew up, but I'm going to need a bit more funds to sort of, get another one.
Yeah, I assume that actually because I was thinking, you have to get parts and bits and pieces. No problem. Next time we're in the town, I'll take you shopping.
So,
yeah, great.
Ruins of Berez is where you will find one of the stones, I believe. It is to the south of Valaki. You go across bridge here, and he shows the bridge across the Luna River, which is about here. You take at crossroad. You take a left turn. It's south and follow the dirt road. Not a very good road. It's like a goat path, but easy enough to follow. And follow the river, and you will eventually find it. And Yester Hill is a bit more dangerous. It is that is where druids are from, and that is further It's quite closer to here, but you are at a winery here. If you keep going, you'll find the hill, and it sort of points in a general direction off, sort of southward, through the woods. Best to go during day. Nighttime not safe. You stay here with us. Yes.
Well, we do have to also turn in the quest to your brother, I do believe so. You're ensuring the wine
Erwin,
gets back.
My son betray, but if he sends you here to help us, maybe I being a bit harsh. Maybe I talk to him. But if you go back to Valaki before you go find Stone, take a bottle of wine to help with the Valaki people. Yes.
Okay.
We can give you a cut and to take. Just one bottle. That's all we have right now.
Where's that piece of paper that we found?
The picture of that woman.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've got the piece of paper, and I'll show them that, and
Picture.
say that ad hoc. You want to show them the horse.
There's this
Oh,
picture of
please.
this woman.
Please. And he asks for the painting. This is mine. My wife. She passed on many years ago, many months. Were you in my room? Why were you in my room?
We were searching all the rooms for the druids and it was badly damaged, but we left the golden things in the chest, so...
Roll a deception check for me, please.
Yeah. I was going to say,
With advantage, because I'm assuming the whole team's going to back you up here.
ad hoc would have, said shit.
Nat 20 for 25.
And I also pull out the
And a nat
bag
one.
full of gems.
And I can't remember what was written on the piece of paper offhand. Does anyone remember what was on the paper? Was it the ledger or something else? I can't remember.
Carlos didn't read it, so pass.
I'm trying to remember. Was
Emilia's still in the bush, so she doesn't. She's not there for this.
And we'll also mention
so
couple
that
of
the
wine
piece of
bottles
paper
and
was the
stuff.
ledger. Was the ledger off the desk? There was nothing. No piece of paper in the bedpost. It was just a painting and the gold locket. Do you hand over the gold locket as well?
I thought it was gems. Were in
The
there.
gems were and the sack of gems. Yes, you're quite right.
Yeah, I hand over the gems. I didn't take the locket. I think I left the locket in the box
Okay, cool.
in the chest.
No problem. So you can see he treasures that painting at the very least, and he grabs the bag of gems and says, "Oh, thank you, thank you for retrieving this for me. Please, here, you take, keep. They help you, yes." And he hands the bag
yeah.
of gems back to you.
Maybe, and I hand them off to Karnos because he's our money bags.
How much in gems?
There was
One large diamond,
Okay.
one small diamond, 2 large rubies, 2 small rubies, and 2 black pearls.
and you're not entirely sure of the value. You would have to have them evaluated to get a more accurate value.
Sweet, I just write them down here.
Yep.
All done.
So with that, we will end our story there for tonight. Emily is still throwing up in the bushes. But actually, just briefly, we'll switch over to Emilia. As you are feeling very, very sick, you do feel better now that you're out in the open air, obviously, and in the evening of this night, even as overcast and misty as it is in Barovia, you do definitely feel a sense of more wellness being out here. But you, in the back of your mind, you can hear voice of Starhd, just pressing on the back of your mind. Malia, my dear, growing thirsty. More's the pity not accept my shame. Eventually, kill one of your friends. And then that voice and pressure fades. And that's where we'll call tonight's sessions, Lens. Well done, team. Another great session. A interesting turn of events at the winery, but successful nonetheless. Looks like you have gained an ally in the Keepers of the Feather, the Wereraven clan of Barovia. So, team, as we usually do at the end of our sessions, firstly, obviously thanking the party. Thank you for the viewers for coming in and hanging out with us for another Curse of Strahd session, of course. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with Emilia. We're going to go around our cast and get some moments from this evening. There's always at least one or two interesting moments made. Funny moments, as usual, as well. Serious moments, doesn't matter what it is. Just a moment that stood out for you, that you thought caught your attention, good, bad, funny, or otherwise. Emilia.
Alright, so one for me is Emilia being a hypocrite and telling everyone else not to steal and then doing it herself the second their backs are to you. There's a couple there's Addock coughing up a fur ball on Zadriel's back. That's pretty funny. Yanti's stare into the camera when Addock was suggesting drumming on Zadriel's head.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, creepy.
That was pretty good.
Evil's horse voice. Love that. And the no toiletries in the outros.
Yes, toiletries from Kaunos. All right, to Mr. Skathos. A moment or two from you, sir.
Well, me personally, I can't really place anything on it, but I have to say the interaction between Addock and Zadriel with the throwing up, the drumming, just the backpack issue.
I don't know how long that's going to last, to be honest. I think Addock's going to have to walk very soon, a lot. But yes, and interesting nonetheless. Zadriel, a moment or two from you, please.
I like the gagging, Carnos' comments on the cold thing. That was funny. And Fibble's incredibly high strength helping to move the door was ironic.
Holy crap. Buff goblin, man. Gnome, sorry. Goblin
yeah.
gnome.
I'll leave some for everybody else.
Addock the Grey.
Yeah, I definitely have to say I like the whole thing how Emilia, and when she was feeling really faint, and just how it was being brought into tuition by the lovely Robert. I think you were playing that really well, and I thoroughly enjoyed seeing you perform that and have that moment and actually take it on. It was cool.
Yes, I must say to you, Drax, commend you 100% on that, because I kind of threw that at you. That was one thing I kept from you about your character that I wasn't going to add in. I was going to add in at a certain point. I wasn't going to tell you about it, so you did well. Well done. Bibblestib.
Couple of moments from Baz, like when he cut the dude in half with his axe. When he goes, oh, I'll just swap with, Trashy's character. Well, it's actually attached to him. Okay, I won't swap with Trashy's character. I'll take a swipe at him instead.
Yeah, I'll try and cut him off Trashy's character. Yeah, it worked well. Would have had a slither of skin removed from your arm and like peeled you. It was great.
Seeing Emilia's character evolving into vampire spawn, pretty much.
Somewhat. Yeah, somewhat
Yeah.
yes and no. There's it's interesting. Like I've got plans.
Yeah, Adok wanting to bad touch a horse. That was
That was just poor choice of words there.
Yeah, it's like he didn't really think that one through very well before he said it.
That made for an
Woo could
interesting
mean
role play.
anything.
Well, not really. Woo was generally
Woo is
a.
normally a relationship.
It's a
That
very
was,
yeah.
You know, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo.
yeah, that's why it's in the Sims called woohooing. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah, that's it.
And Garnos, the hero
Oh,
of the
yeah.
group.
Hero of the day. I don't know. So I got a couple of different ones, mostly all that stuff as well. But I think for me, Fibble was my standout today. At the beginning with the reaction you did with the protection of Scathus, that was pretty cool. That was a good spell, or whatever it was. And then the juggling of the light stones or whatever they were afterwards, I thought that was pretty cool as well. Not
Yeah,
sure
I
what
was
you.
try-
The juggling,
just-
that was well done, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. We're in the dark. We're heading towards someone. I wonder what they would think if they just saw 5
Lights go.
going around in a circle. type deal.
I didn't even think about putting that kind of reaction in.
And then just the interactions with Zadriel and Adok and the horse was good, and of course the DM's voices for the druids and the horse. And I made note of Adok's cat cough as well because that was pretty funny.
That was pretty good.
And yeah, it was the way Zadriel said. I think when Adok said he was going to woo the horse, and Zadriel said something about just fuck off. I was like, I don't think I've heard Zadriel swear. I don't know very much at all in the course of this time. So and then everyone's just interacted really, really good today. It's been good.
Yeah, no, and same for me. It's pretty much the whole session was just again phenomenal session. Lots of humour, as always with our group. We tend to find the humorous in almost everything, and the sexual in almost everything as well. Especially goblins wooing horses. It's just kind of out there. But pretty much everything, really. Like I said, the Zadriel's attempt to get a sample of the mold. Unfortunately, that was never going to happen. It was just one of those things, but something that I didn't think that anyone would try and do. So I kind of had to, reading what this mold was and what it did, it kind of fit, but I didn't expect anyone to try and get a sample of the stuff. I don't know why you would want a sample of mold, but you never know. Could come in handy for something. And yeah, Emilia Drax, again, just commending you on the way you handled what I threw at you with your character. Obviously, for those that haven't picked up on it, Emilia's character can no longer consume food or water, stain herself, make her sick. So that is going to be an interesting turn of events for young Drax and the development of his character. But what I will have to say is I actually commend the group on how they handled the situation and what they tried to do. Zadriel offering her own blood initially, and one person I didn't expect to offer his blood was Carlos. So
yeah, I kind of assumed that Zadriel being a paladin would be bad for her anyway. So I thought, I looked around the group and was like, oh, I'm the only human here.
And as it turns out, human blood is the only blood she can consume anyway. So
it was an assumption, but I guess
yeah.
it was, yeah.
I mean, it's an assumption that I think you guys would probably make at this point. You've been in Barovia now, coming up. I think I've got it up about almost 3 weeks, 21 days. So your time you spent talking amongst yourselves and talking to the people and things, the information you guys have been given, is a lot of assumptions that I'm quite happy for you guys to make from a character standpoint, because I think most of the characters be roughly intelligent enough to do that. So,
Scathus, how low was your HP too, Meta?
It got down to 11.
Yeah, I was wondering how low you were getting, because a non-armor wearing person running headlong into combat is probably not the safest thing for you to do.
I did
Probably,
all right.
probably pay to wait for your plate or your chain wearer to initiate combat and then join the
No.
combat.
Where's the fun in that? I mean, come on.
I mean, it would be
Monks are
interesting to
pretty
see.
tough, but
It would be
yeah.
interesting to see someone die, and I won't shed a tear if it's trash.
Oh,
I'm joking, Trashy. I'm kidding. But Grim, thank you so much for the inspiration for the DM. I'll save that for a later date.
Apparently, Mina, horse with Adok and Zadriel.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think the whole session was really good. I mean, you guys, the role play's been awesome. Most of you guys were running through the homebrew campaign leading into this one, and Drax coming in fresh with no real D&D experience prior to that, coming into that role play is playing again a great character, fleshing out the backstory and fleshing out the character itself has been pretty cool. And obviously going into the other campaigns and throwing other DMs curveballs is good, because then I don't have to deal. I'm not the only one that has to deal with it. So, but
Hey, Zadriel, I just had an awesome idea. Get a vial of your blood, give it to the vampire lord. Here, a gift.
You can coat Adok's darts in your blood and shoot at him from a distance.
What's the thing? I mean, it could be like holy water. Probably not. It's just the fact that it's not human blood, so it will not sustain her. She could drink it, but it'd probably make her sick like water food does. I don't think it would do any damage. Just like a divine heal won't damage a vampire, just heal them. But anywho, we should probably raid. Chat, have you guys got any other moments that stand out for you guys before we look at raiding anyone this evening? If you do, chuck it in the chat now while we're looking for someone to raid.
I like the druid voice.
The druid voice?
and I like Scathus getting those bloody little creatures on him all the time. They seem to love gripping onto him.
Well, just whoever was in the front. They just swarmed whoever was closest to them, and it just happened to be Scathus every time.
And at the same time, he's got an armor class of like 13, so everything can touch him.
Pretty much. This is why it's probably not such a great idea to put yourself out in the front.
Touches you, Trashy.
Did you enjoy being touched, Trashy?
Trashy likes being touched. It's the only time he gets touched in D&D.
Hey, did Fibble name those creatures? Was it he the first to kill one or something?
Yes, I believe he was.
What did he name them?
Oh crap! I can't remember.
He did name them.
He did name them
Watch
something.
the VOD on YouTube.
Yeah, I do believe he did name them something, and I forget.
Same. I was calling them treeples, but
Treeples.
tree people.
I can't remember. He did name them, and I cannot remember what it was.
I don't remember.
I'll have to go back and watch the VOD.
It was off the cuff, so I don't actually remember what the hell I named.
There's actually not many D&Ds on tonight. Surprising.
Fibble, you got to get a pad in front of you, mate. If you do something off the cuff, quickly write it down because it comes in handy.
Whiskey and Waffles, that's a rerun. That one's been going for 20 minutes, 2 viewers. That doesn't look like a D&D.
Yeah, Crombie was zombie Drax. I got to go anyway, guys.
No worries. Catch up, dude.
See you later.
You got
Thanks,
the
everybody.
Lost Archive.
Catch you on
Lost
Sunday.
Archives. And there's this Evil Doer TV, and that's it. That's all I've got in D&D.
Yeah, he's actually not that much in. I mean, I was just looking at the live channels, not the ones I follow, and there's actually not that many on tonight.
We could always follow Tales of Pesh, because he's... Oh, hang on. Yeah, he's
playing Evil Genius.
Oh, is he playing, is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yes,
playing
too.
that tomorrow.
He's playing Evil
I'll be
Genius too.
streaming that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm not
playing
sure
that.
what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to stream or not. If I am, I'll probably be maybe some more. And we actually might do some video or something. I don't know. Haven't decided. But we'll raid Mr. Tales of Pesh again. Why not? All right, guys. Again, thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will see you on Friday on Yanti's channel. Some more D&D. But if I decide to stream tomorrow night, come hang out. If not, go hang out with your auntie. Either way, I don't care. Hang out with someone. Have some fun. Hang out. Play some games. And we'll see you back on the Auntie channel on Friday for some more D&D and again on Sunday. Bye.